All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope you are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I am doing good in this cloudy, rainy, overcast,
muggy.
Yeah, it is warmer than normal. It's funny to me, like, honestly, the second that fall hit, it got rainy and cloudy. It's very strange, actually. But anyways, welcome to fall weather, which means so much of my outdoor racket sports are being canceled. I wasn't able to go play tennis this morning. Looks like, yeah, it's supposed to rain all day here. Just looking it up. That's it's gonna be a wet one. So we might as well stay inside and trade, right? Let's make some money today.
Yeah, the humidity here is uncomfortable for sure. It's like 94% humidity. So it's madness. Wow. But rainy, not like cloudy, when it's but raining, not rainy. Yeah.
When it's raining, isn't the humidity like 100%? Or maybe I don't understand how humidity works.
That's a good question. Maybe not. There's been some cold, rainy days, man. When it's cold, it's, I guess humidity wouldn't matter about that. But it's not rainy. It's just cloudy and uncomfortable. But that is your weather for today, friends. Now let's look at what's gapping up and down on our trading terminals gappers list. So you can always go to tradingterminal.com and get that information there. We have a lot of stuff in the red this morning. So a couple of things pulling back or dropping if they were not pulling back from their most recent highs, like the SPY is doing, right? The SPY hitting a high of around 667, I want to call it. Could be a little more, a little bit less. And pulling back a bit, especially this pre-market, we are seeing a nice drop. I'll show you what that looks like right now, actually. A bit of a drop in the last couple of days. Again, but I think I heard the number. We're up like, what, 30%? Correct me if I'm wrong, for our nerds, our number nerds out there, in a good way, right? We like nerds in this show. We're up like 30% from April. So that's a big chunk. No, yeah, we are pro nerds here, 100%. Oh, yeah, 100%. They run the world. But yeah, well, before AI takes over, they run the world right now. But yeah, it's it's nothing crazy to go nuts about, but we are seeing some red on the screen, and our gappers list is showing that as well. Oh, is it getting longer? It's massive. It's non-ending.
Yeah. Okay. It's a big list.
I didn't think it was that big. I knew it was big. I didn't notice how big it was. All right. So, Peter, before we get to that, we also have some numbers today. How does that look this morning?
Yeah, just putting them in there as our numbers come out for this morning. Jobless claims came out, both initial and continuing. As you can see, slightly better than the forecast. So in line, but slightly better, which means I think that's good. The data is a little uncertain now. Normally, jobless claims would be seen as a positive economic indicator. Sorry, weird alarms. I can't seem to stop them. However, we've got, the problem is the number of new jobs available is also going down, and the number of claimants is going down due to recent activities that, such as deportations and stuff that are happening in the U.S. Therefore, it creates an uncertain picture, which is partly why we're seeing so much red on the screen, right? Whereas normally that would be seen as good. It means that more jobs are being created. But in this case, actually, more jobs are and claimants are just no longer present in the marketplace, which means the jobless claims going down is not necessarily good. Anyways, what does it mean for stocks? Well, it means, you might be, as we're seeing, there's a lot of stuff in the red. GDP, though, that is a good number, 3.8%, the increase that's over forecast. That's a good thing, I suppose. Later this morning, we do have existing home sales that are supposed to come out. The home sales numbers have been good, both earlier, so we'll see if it continues at 10. And then there's a number of Fed speakers today. I only had room to put the one, but we've got Barr who's speaking at 1 o'clock. There's also Fed speakers out there today happen. Like Williams is speaking at 9 a.m. We got Schmidt from the Kansas City speaking at 9. Bowman speaking at 10. I just put I put the 1 o'clock because usually that bar speech is, if anything, is going to have an impact. It's that one, and then we've got speeches at 1:40 and 3:30 as well. So, and 4:30 if you care. But so all day, Feds are out there pounding the pavement, hitting the podium. But yeah, we'll see what happens. For the most part, economic data taking a backseat, of course, to actual market activity, which hasn't been easy this week. It's Thursday. I can't believe it's Thursday already. My God. But there's certainly been trading opportunities, but you do have to be sharp to take advantage of them and not harm yourself in the process.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Has not been easy. All right, let's take a look what's gapping up this morning. SGBX. SGBX leading the way. Just got going maybe 5 minutes ago. As you can see here on this chart on the 5-minute candlesticks. Just got going from $8 all the way to $14.15, pulling back a little bit here. So safe and green. That's how I want my trading to be, safe and green. Peter, what's driving this thing this morning? I know it just appears. You might, yeah.
Safe and Green Holdings. I want to know. I want to know what this company does. They're listed as a metal fabrication company, but what they seem to be, they make construction. Modular housing is what they actually make, it looks like. Anyways, I guess the news is they had a whole bunch of litigation against them. One of their subsidiaries called SG Blocks specifically had some litigation, and it seems that they have resolved all outstanding litigation and appeals between the parties. So that's good news, I guess, for the company and why they're popping up. I can't imagine spending any time trying to trade this, Carlos. I see the float at only 450,000 shares. This is a company with a $3.8 million market cap. This is almost a micro cap. I'm not going anywhere near.
Yeah. It's again active. Be very careful on it. Not my cup of tea, so I'll leave it alone for now. We can always come back to if we see something great on it. But for our low flow traders, it is in play as SGBX. Next on the list is IMRX, which this morning they are up 8.3, 2.6 million shares traded, and that is after dropping from the pre-market highs at 12.98. And after hours yesterday, you also saw pop all the way up to about almost 1874. So what I'm clocking here, but again, another low flow, 28 million shares flow. So I'm not a big fan of these low flow tickers. My strategies do not trade well with these type of stocks. So again, won't be on my list, but clearly another one in play, Peter, from the low flow fruit basket here.
Yeah, this is biotech Immuneering. I like the name of the company, Immuneering. They have a very positive results from a phase 2A pancreatic cancer trial. So that's good news for them. They also happen to have issued a secondary offering, but that's not 175 million Class A shares and a $25 million private placement to make 200 total. But I think really that usually would drive the stock price down. It's popping up though because of the phase 2A cancer trial. Smart move for them. If you're going to announce additional funding, might as well put it on the same day as you get your drug trial, and then you don't get the downtick. So, but anyways, that's what's going on. Not trading it myself.
Yeah. Again, low flow stock in play, friends. Be careful with that one. Volume is there at 2.7, and it's gapping up pretty decent so far, but it's been dropping. CLPT, we saw this yesterday. Big move yesterday, all the way up to about 21, where we actually are hanging out right now, right? $21. That was the high of the intraday action yesterday. You can see it here. They just keep climbing. If you look at the intraday here from yesterday's pre-market into the intraday, it just kept climbing slowly higher and higher. Very, very low volume. So we did have it, not on my list, but we did have it in the radar yesterday. Typically not a fan. Another low flow ticker in play today as for a second day here. Again, I'm just not a fan of these low flow stocks, friends. So again, if you like these, go for it. 313,000 shares traded right now for a second day play. And again, if you're low flow and you're able to gap up the next day, that's interesting. It really is, because usually these things they do their gap up for one day, the next day is a complete sell off. It is a disaster. But this one is holding here, Peter. Again, we saw it yesterday. I don't recall the news. I believe we talked about it, but again, I just didn't care much. But this morning, still making some noise.
Yeah, like you said, full second day play yesterday was that they had that FDA clearance or approval for their laser therapy system. I'm surprised, like you said, that it's up this morning. Who knows? Maybe it'll continue going. Some of these things do for a couple of days, but usually the play is that you get that pullback on the second day. We'll have to see for those that are interested in watching it. Like you sort of alluded to, I wasn't interested yesterday. I'm even less interested today.
But again, if you're a low flow trader, this is your type of list, right? A couple of low flows leading the way here. Besides the next one I'm going to cover, actually QURE is another one that's on deck this morning. The float on this was a little bit higher at 49 million shares float. So as you can see here, 49 million. Hold on a second. Let me get the. Yep, up 8%, 1.2 million shares traded. This is actually a company we've seen plenty of times in the past. But again, another one that doesn't trade very well. Great day yesterday also. Went up from 37 all the way to 50 today, as high as 56. So again, madness here, Peter, as well. But again, just won't be on my list, guys. This thing does not trade the way I like them to. They're not my best candidates, that's for sure.
No. And this one's linked to the earlier one, right? So ClearPoint Neuro and Unicure are linked because of the Unicure offers the Huntington's disease treatment that they're providing using devices by ClearPoint Neuro. So there's a link there. So I guess they're moving in tandem.
All right, there we go. Another one that we haven't seen in quite some time. We used to trade these guys a bunch when EV was heavily in play, not just Tesla alone, is XBEV. So XBEV this morning up 3%, 383,000 shares traded. Has not really been in play. We saw a pop in August where they actually did get a little bit more volume and they traded very well. But today we're back to this very low intraday trading volume. And again, I just have no hopes that this is going to trade well, even by it hitting the scanners this morning. I don't think it's the one to watch today. Peter, your thoughts on it?
I mean, they're here because go away. They're here because they have news that they've started European production with an Australian partner to avoid EU tariffs. So basically, they're using an Australian company as plant in Europe to produce their EVs, their electric vehicles, and thus avoiding some of the import tariffs, right? Because they can then manufacture sort of within the European Union. So interesting news for them. Look, all of the news over the last 2 years on XPEV has never prompted it into a good trading scenario. So yeah, I think the fun is well over on XPEV. Unfortunately, like you said, we used to watch these a lot. They were great trading for a period of time, but it's been a while. So XPEV, Lee, Neo, we used to love those. They're no good anymore from a trading perspective.
Yeah, they're no fun. And then last but not least, it's going to be AG is on here again. Normally doesn't trade very well. This is First Majestic Silver. Might be great for maybe swing trading if you want to trade this sector, but overall, I'm not a fan of it. So again, wow, nothing coming off this gap up list, Peter, that I like for my strategies. Again, depending how you trade, you might like all of these, but for me, these are all brutal and gonna give it a big old garbage truck. But first, what's your thoughts on AG? Anything significant happening here?
It's a Canadian silver miner, so silver prices continue to hit new highs. It's just riding the wave a little bit. So I don't like miners. They're not good trading.
Yeah, yep. I don't either. All right, that covers our gap up list for today, Peter. I see Open just snuck in here. Let's see Open. Let's actually go to that one because that one's, it's been in play. It's done some stuff here. You can see on the daily, we had a couple of days where it actually did trade very well, and the intraday was very, very nice. This thing started going early August. It just started ramping up here pretty nicely all the way up to about almost 11, just made it to 1080. And today, volume is always there on this thing. 17 million shares traded so far, up 1.5 as of right now. It's just trying to stay in the green. Was in the green well this morning, but has then, since the pre-market highs, lost a lot of that, almost all of that, and it's just above the previous day close at the moment.
Yeah, we talked about the home sales. So this would be one of the companies that would directly benefit from the home sales numbers. They're expected to be strong. So open, when that comes out at what is it, 10? Yeah, I think existing home sales coming out at 10. If it's really strong, their stock might continue to go up. I mean, look, whether the number's strong or not, it doesn't actually change what the company's done. It doesn't matter. It changes the perception of what the company's done. So, and what their opportunity is. So, like you said, this one is amazing to me at how it continues to get volume, like such volume. It just keeps flowing in. So, uh, not not an it's still not an easy trade in my opinion. If you look yesterday, it moved higher there, but it was just tough to get into and to find opportunity. This thing seems to like to move nicely after hours. That's when you seem to get good trading. So maybe if you're interested in trading between 4 and 5 p.m., keep an eye on open.
Yeah. We had a couple of days that were okay on this thing. Maybe a secondary for me, right? I don't know. They get the volume. They're not a low flow. It's saying like about 600 million. So maybe a secondary for now. I'm probably not going to end up trading it, but let's see where the action goes as we're getting a lot of activity in the pre-market this morning. All right, that covers it, Peter. Anything gapping up today that is not on the list that you are looking at?
Well, in the header, you mentioned LAC, Lithium America. It is up another 15% this morning. So it's still on a tear as the demand is expected to be high for lithium. And the White House, the rumor, I haven't even looked it up this morning. Has there been any confirmation of that? The White House had suggested they wanted to buy up to 10% of the company and take an investment. Did they do that?
I haven't seen anything yet. But
It's still.
would they announce it if they do it, or it just comes out in the
I
reports? Like when Elon
they
buys a huge chunk.
they
How does that go
rarely.
about?
The Trump administration rarely, misses an opportunity to announce things if they think it's good news. So I still see reportedly. I don't see any confirmation that they've actually done that. But it doesn't matter. I mean, maybe it's better. It can be better for the company if it's just in the rumor phase, right? Because it's buy the rumor, sell the news. So as long as the rumor persists, then maybe this stock will continue to go higher. But the trading yesterday, if you actually look at what it traded like over the course of the day yesterday, it was it was not great. So I don't know that this is going to be a good trading stock today like it was yesterday, but it's one of the few that's in the green. Um, there's really not much. Like there's no real stocks. There's nothing that's really in the green. Is what I'm trying to say. Like Apple was in the green a second ago. Now I notice it's red again. So Amazon is in the green, but barely by like 6 cents, 0.03%, and now it's red. So look at that. Like I can't even keep up. Basically, everything is red today. So yeah, we better talk about things on the downside because it's there's almost nothing that is green.
Yeah, that seems to be where the action is, my friends. Head over to the tradeterminal.com so you can look at this list. And look who's leading the way. OKLO this morning down after a massive rally over the last, I want to say, 3 weeks. But look at this big drop, man. 50%, 6.5 million shares traded, giving back a lot of the gains that they had over the last couple of days. So clearly in play. I really like this ticker. We had a great trading day. Was it? I don't remember if it was on the 19th or the 22nd, but we had a great trading day on this thing. Just got to be careful with the spread, right? That's one of the things you got to look out for. The spread can be as high as 60 cents, which again, for a stock at 111 bucks, it's a lot. So you got to really be careful. If you're taking 200 shares on this thing, it can add up pretty quickly. 200 shares and more. So, Peter, I like it today. Any news that's not treating them well?
No. I don't think so. I mean, I'll just check here to see if there's anything new on the wire. Um, I mean, they only they've got some news, but they're just taking advantage of the attention to say how their full scale fuel assembly flow testing is going well. If you remember, there was news from a month or two ago that they had an agreement with the deployment of one of their facilities, their plants out in Alaska on a military base. I think it's just it's inevitable that it's going to get some pullback. You just have to look at the daily chart to know. I mean, this thing has been on fire. So yesterday it seemed like it's just a pretty stark pull down, but it really wasn't that much of a decline. Today, it might just continue that. I mean, we're still up in very healthy territory for OKLO overall. So, yeah, this with the market down, it's moved up more than average. It's probably going to move down a little bit more than average just because of all of that momentum.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I'm gonna have it on my list, guys. I like it a lot here today. We do have inventory for sure. We got not plenty. I was gonna say plenty, but not that much. 700,000
Okay.
is not a whole lot. So again, we'll see how that goes. 700,000 there on OKLO. So we'll keep that on the list. I do like that. Richard, welcome to Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend. Good to have you. And we also have another one join this morning. Somebody else. Here is Recto Car Express. So welcome to the Lambos and Garbage Truck family here. So, all right, let's take a look. Peter, I was watching yesterday. I was going through Apple TV. By the way, did you guys see the Denzel movie on Apple TV? We're talking about Denzel making movies and whether they were good or not. This newest to lowest on Apple TV, it is probably one of the worst movies I've seen from Denzel. It is so bad. So bad. I'm like, where is this going? What? And the acting, not from him, but from other people, are just like so horrible. Horrible. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, don't take my review. I'm not an expert, but take a look at it. Let me know what you think. I think it came out a few weeks ago.
You're not a fan.
I'm not, and I like Denzel. I really do, but I'm not a fan of this movie and some of the acting that's taking place. And the storyline too is like it drags and it just doesn't make any sense. It was pretty bad, Brett. And at times I thought they were. Did I change the channel by mistake? Because it went from one scene to something completely different, and I'm like, am I still watching? Me and my wife were like, are we still watching the same movie? Like, it was weird. It was very very weird. All right, let's continue here.
To lowest. It's a Spike Lee movie.
It
Okay.
is. Again, great shots of New York, the Bronx, and downtown Manhattan, but Brooklyn Bridge, all good stuff. But man, it is just so bad, so bad, so bad. I don't know how Denzel agreed to do that, so he must have got paid a ton on that. So, all right, let's talk about KMX. KMX is not getting paid a ton because they're down 14% this morning.
Movie review.
Yeah, it's a quick movie review for as we end the week. As we start to end the week.
Wait, we give you everything here. We got weather. Yeah. We've got movie reviews.
Everything.
We can talk stocks too.
Absolutely. CarMax down today, 783,000 shares traded, down 15%, almost 16 here. What a drop, Peter. What's the latest and greatest on CarMax?
Yeah, it looks like used auto sales not as hot as they used to be. They had earnings this morning. Early this morning, they released that they had delivered 6.59 billion in revenue when the market expected a little over 7.15 billion. They are also down in their earnings, where they only had 64 cents a share versus a $1.03 estimate. So quite, that's a 38% miss on their earnings, and that's not good. So CarMax, their forecast. I'm trying to see if did they update their guidance. They haven't actually given any updated guidance that I can see. And they said that there was in their reporting, they did announce that not only did they have a lower number of used car sales, but the average price was lower than anticipated on the cars that they were selling. So the CEO just described it as a challenging quarter. Yeah, no kidding. Anyways, So it was a little bit of a surprise because this market has been the market's been relatively hot. There's been a lot of talk about used car sales. The sector's been doing okay. I noticed that their stock price has have sort of been not doing okay. It's actually been going down over the course of this calendar year. But yeah, this is a big drop for them. I was hoping for a little more volume, to be honest. I thought maybe this one would be in play with the earnings, with only 800,000 shares traded, Carlos. I yeah,
Yeah,
I don't like it as much as I hoped I would.
yeah, yeah. I like the drop here, man. I like the volume is getting there. 800,000 for CarMax is a lot. Their daily is horrible. They don't trade well. I don't know today. I want to give them a shot today, Peter. I want to give them a shot. Let's see if today we can get something out of it. I'm sure we're gonna have better things. I'm just deciding whether I put it on the main list or the secondary. I'm gonna go main for now. I might move that as we move forward here.
Really.
So yeah, let's see. Let's see. I like this drop. I really do. People are asking what's the name of the movie. Here it is highest to lowest, and I'm actually my confirmation. I have not looked at the ratings, but I am actually
Well,
pretty
I
spot
can tell.
on.
I did look it up. IMDb only rates it a
It's
5.6, which is pretty low. Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
it's pretty low. I'm telling you, it's
Pretty
the
low.
preview is great, but when you get into it, like, what just happened? What just happened? All right. So highest to lowest. Yeah, I might have saved you. And then here's the other thing, Peter. And then it's 2 hours. I'm like, why is this movie 2 hours? I watched it within 2 days. I can't watch 2 hours in a day. It's too much. Why? Didn't we learn from the K-pop Demon? You can do a great movie in an hour, get your point across quickly, let people go on their day.
I
Two
think
hours? No,
you know
no, no, no,
what,
no.
Carlos. I think on that comment, Spike Lee is going to be looking for you. The fact that you just tried to compare one of his works to K-pop Demon Hunters has got to make him mad.
They, I'm not lying. Just
That's
look at
got
the
to make him
numbers.
mad.
Just look at the numbers, right? The numbers don't lie, baby.
Anyway,
All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's go to HOND. HOND here, it is down 10%, 204,000 shares traded. The last couple of days, we've seen some activity on it. Volume is pretty low at 206,000 for the way it's moving, so that could be concerning. Float on this bad boy is 21 million, so not as low as I would expect, but still in that low flow realm. Peter, I don't know what's the thing on here. HCM Acquisition is the name of the company.
yeah, HCM two acquisition. It's an acquisition corp. This is a total shell company. It basically means it's just a bunch of money that they can use to acquire other companies and get quick listing on the exchange. There's rarely any news on these acquisition companies as to why they're moving because no analysts cover them, and we just therefore no news outlets are covering information. I have no idea what's going on, and I care even less.
Yep, yep. I'm just I don't like to see that. I'm enjoying the comments and chat. Someone said I watched it, I enjoyed, but I was high when I was watching it. And the other comment is, why did you keep watching? Did you hope it get better? I did. It's done sell, so I was hoping, it's done sell. It's got to get better, and it never did. It never did. So yeah, it's pretty bad. PDYN next on our gappers list, down 9.8. 387,000 shares traded, as you can see here on the charts. Again, another one that just doesn't look good. I really want to get to the fun stuff, so maybe we'll hop around a little bit here after this one, Peter. But a PDYN, again, this just looks like garbage. Like, I look at a stock like this and the way it's trading and the volume on the daily, and I don't see myself trading my strategy well on a stock like this.
Agreed. I mean, I think just because it has AI in the title, this is Paladine AI is the reason it's here, but it's not interesting enough to talk about.
Yeah, it's really not. All right, guys, let's hop around to some of the good stuff because we do have some really great tickers. I mean, we have the whole stock market here. It looks like on this list. Oh my goodness, it's getting longer and longer. Peter, let's go to you. What do you like here? Let's talk about the tech stuff. Let's talk about the stuff that's been in play. Some of the hot sectors and how they're doing today.
Well, there's not a lot to differentiate any one of these sectors. So the Qs are down 0.75%. The SPY's down 0.5%. It's just one of those days where everything is starting red. I'll give the caution that I give every time. Just because everything is starting red doesn't mean we're going to stay there, right? That it can reverse. You got to wait for the opening bell and see what the market sentiment is. People may see it as a buying opportunity, or we may continue lower. I have no idea. I'm going to wait and let the price action dictate what I'm going to do next. On the downside, there was a couple other things that had earnings that I thought I would mention. ACN, which is Accenture, one of the big sort of consultancy firms out there. I used to love to hate to compete against them, but they are down. They actually missed their numbers, so didn't have a good quarter, not on target with their forecasts. Not a good trading stock. Here's one that was entertaining. It actually happens to be green at the moment, but BlackBerry, BB, are they still a thing? They're still a company?
Yeah,
Who
it's
knew?
still around.
Anyways, yeah, they're still around. So they're a software company now. They sort of pivoted and were making a lot of software for self-driving vehicles. I think QMX was a company they had partnered with, and but they still got some software out there. I mean, they're a shadow of their former selves, but they're out there. They beat their numbers and increased their guidance. So they're still the going concern, but not a tradable stock necessarily. So uh, there you go.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
pride of Waterloo, Ontario. Anyways, BlackBerry Inc. is out there, and then you can pretty much pick whatever you want. I've got my usual suspects. I'm surprised at the volume that I'm seeing this morning on Nvidia. It's very healthy. It's marginally to the high side of average. We're 4.8 million shares on Nvidia, down 1.5%, which is which is I was going to say at the high end of the semiconductors, but now that I'm looking through it, it's not. It's actually at the low end. SMCI, Micron, AMD, all down 2.5, 2.7%. So yeah, we're seeing movement. So again, semis just always are in play these days. So I think it's absolutely worth keeping an eye on that whole segment, whichever ones you prefer. We've got Tesla that's down 2% this morning on okay volume. We've got PLTR that's down over 3% on decent volume for PLTR. So again, pretty much pick whichever one you like best. They're all in play with, again, slightly higher than average volume. So I'm going to stick to my usuals, I think, because on a day like today, that's what I like to watch. And if we do get a change in sentiment, they're usually the first to exhibit it. So I want to stay in the safe zone. Crypto offerings. I was looking at the price of crypto earlier this morning, and sometimes it can sort of be the place to go when the market's down. Not today. All crypto seems to be down today, and just continuing to sink. It's just like a slow move downward. Overnight it hit a high of Bitcoin hit a high of $114,000, but has slid off now to be about 110,000, 110,931 right at the moment. So it's it just feels like crypto's. There's so many these companies we've been talking about that got these treasury strategies, but it's not lifting the price like I'm sure that they all hoped it would, right? And whether you're looking at Bitcoin this morning or Solana or Ethereum or Tether or any one of these, everything seems to be down. So it's just one of those
really
days,
is.
you know?
Yeah. One of those days. All right. Just going to this list and thinking what I'm going to put on here. And I really don't have a clue, man. It's just everything is in the red. So we'll do this. I'm gonna keep my list the way it is. Let's go over to what you guys like this morning. We'll start here in our chat, friends. Let's see what tickers you guys like, and I'll get my list off of that. So OKLO. OKLO I have already. Yeah, OKLO is I really like OKLO today. I mean, this drop we're getting here, the volume. Let's just hope the spread stayed as tight as it is right now. I'm seeing like 12 cents. See, but there it is, 40, 50 cents. I know it's pre-market, but we saw those numbers at the market open. Hopefully that's not the case. CarMax I do have already. Oracle. Is Oracle still? Oracle is not going away. Oh
I
man,
mean,
Oracle. Oracle
amazing. It's
is,
amazing.
and it looks good. It
I
does look
feel
good.
like it's about we're only a couple of days away from it turning the tide to be one of these, I'll just automatically put it on my list to watch. It actually has been giving some decent movement. It's yeah, it's in play. If this volume continues, the volume's sliding off a little bit, but I
Yeah.
mean, just look at the volume since their earnings announcement back on the 10th, compared to previously, right? So you can see with that volume ramping up has the volatility, which is good for intraday trading. I'm sure they don't mind. They're happy to take the volatility as long as the price stays up around the $300 range. That being said, this morning with the market gapping down, we are just below that. It's down almost $12. So this looks like a great area to keep an eye on it because Oracle. I mean, I don't know, Carlos. It's been in the news long enough that I said, like, normally it loves to fill gaps, right? Stocks love to go back into a gap. We've got this giant gap where, it had on earnings, and we're sort of at the bottom end of that. But Oracle feels a little different. Like, I think it's going to take a lot for it to be pushed into and through that gap. But if it did, oh my God, it could have a massive sell-off day. But I'm not anticipating that to occur.
Yeah, yeah, I don't see that happening either. But man, Oracle's daily looks awesome here. I like the volume down 3.7. I am gonna add it to my primary list this morning. So thank you for bringing that out. You're eyeing APDL. Well, no, you're eyeing BABA. I'll look at APDL in a second. Let's take a look at BABA. You know what? BABA's been gapping up or down, but the intraday itself has not been great. And I'll show you. Yes, you look at yesterday. If you guys remember the big gap up yesterday, huge momentum on the pre-market, and then it just dies out at the market open. You don't get a whole lot of movement, right? But again, we won't judge it too hard because yesterday was a hard day for many stocks that normally do trade well, right? Rigetti gave us a hard time. Eventually did pop up, but it took a while to get going. Baba's pre-market action is probably the best we've seen in a while, not as far as percentage, but as far as actually moving in the pre-market, right? We've been seeing the gap up, stay sideways. Today we're down a little bit here. I actually do like this pre-market activity quite a bit today on Baba. So I'm going to add Baba to the list as well, and we'll see. It might move one of these down to the secondary, so we'll see how it goes here. But I do like that one. APDL, I know this ticker very well. Normally doesn't trade very well, and I usually keep it off my list. Today they're down 7.2, 1.4 million shares traded. Applied Digital. Peter, what's your take on this one this morning?
I don't see anything particularly exciting about it. I mean, it's moving with the rest of the market, which you would expect. From a news point of view, it's it's just there. I don't see any deep news on it, so yeah, I don't like it especially more than anything else.
Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
grammar.
And that's one of the hardest things about today. It's hard to pick out the stuff that, okay, is it in play on its own? And if the whole market is going to be dropping, then there are tickers that I want to keep an eye on that I know are going to trade well following the market. They're going to get volume and the spread is going to be great. Tesla being one of them. Nvidia for the most part. Not always, but they can trade very well. We haven't looked at AMD in quite some time. It's been going sideways here, but today they're folding to the will of the markets here as we're dropping. So there are other tickers that are going to give you that good price action, like in POTR, right, down 3%, 1.8 million shares traded, which again they all look great. So just pick your favorites when it comes to all these. I feel like OKLO, CarMax, Oracle, and BABA are tickers we normally don't see moving like this, so they're a little bit more interesting. But we see POTR move like this. We see Tesla move like this. It's not new to us. But these I have here tend to be on the nicer side. I am going to add POTR. I do like that one. And then a lot of my usual suspects are going to be on the secondary list here. All right. That's my list. That's my list, Peter. Let's see on YouTube. What do you guys like this morning? Let's pick up INTC. Intel is one that's also been getting a lot of attention, given everything with the government, again, investing in some of these companies. Our NVIDIA deal had a big day yesterday. Today, they're dropping from the pre-market highs, just flat at the moment, right at the previous day close. The one thing about Intel, it is, again, and we traded it. Peter, you traded it. It is such a hard stock to trade and to hold on to because it's just very choppy. It doesn't move a whole lot, right? Rarely do we get really nice, clean days. So it's a tough one to waste a spot on your watch list if you can watch a limited amount of stocks, right? So usually gets yeah.
You had an
Yep.
Intel like trade yesterday, and when when you trade it, it
Yeah.
just goes sideways for like 20 minutes before it
Oh
decides
my
to do anything.
goodness.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what Intel always feels like. You got to get
Yep.
in and then be ready to just hang on for a while until it either stops you out or finally moves. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's
LAC, great move. I was gonna say great movie. I'm reading all. We're going back and forth on a movie in chat. We're just going at it on YouTube and in our chat as well. But LAC, not a great
mm,
movie. Great low flow for today. Is very active. I am gonna add it here to my secondary list as risky. So be very careful. Apple is gonna be in the same boat that Tesla, Nvidia, and all those tickers are really in. Right, as Peter mentioned, we just have to see how the market treats these stocks when they come in and how they're going to trade. Apple's slightly in the green, as almost many of the stocks are not falling, just slightly near the previous day close. All right, let's stop here. Let's head over to Bear with Traders. You
one
got one more, Peter?
There's one last one, people to be aware of. Costco, COST. They have earnings after the close. They're pretty much the only interesting earnings after the close today. 4:15 is when they're coming out. They never trade much pre-market, but in case people are interested, usually, leading into earnings, things, move fairly, quietly. But with the whole market pushing down like this, who knows? But just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah. Not a great trader, as we know, as you mentioned. And then Starbucks, as somebody mentioned, that Starbucks is firing 900 employees, which I feel like that's nothing.
That
You know,
that feels like a
that's like
normal.
that's like one employee out of
Yeah.
every store location in downtown Manhattan or Midtown. It's nothing because they got one in every other block down there, right? So that's not gonna move the stock. You need more than that. I would love to know what
Well,
the percentage is for that there.
there, yeah, there's a little more to that because they're laying off 900 employees, but they're doing it from a number of specific stores that they're closing. So looks like they're shutting down. Oh, this is 900 corporate workers. So this is head office type people, and shut down
Mm,
an undisclosed number of stores across North America as part of its ongoing turnaround plan. So. Yeah, they've earmarked about $1 billion in severance and lease penalties as they get out of certain locations. So Carlos, maybe there'll be a fewer of those Starbucks I. Anyways, Starbucks stores in Manhattan for you.
All right, so you might have to walk down a half a block down. Not a big deal for you guys. And they have approximately 361,000 employees. This is a report as of September 29th, 2024. So 900 is really not going to move. It's probably an extra weight they don't need. So, all right, let's see here, guys. Let's go to bearwithtraders.com where you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Click on webinars and then scroll to the bottom here and you can see our schedule for the next 2 weeks. Today's Thursday, so we'll focus on what is taking place today.
Yeah, so today we've got our mentorship sessions. We love the mentorship day because it gives us an opportunity to talk with all of you, get your insight, and help you out directly with whatever challenges you may have. We start the day with at 11 with Lenny, who's going to talk trend trading in the webinar room, then followed by Jared, who will talk options at noon. And then we end the evening tonight with Thor from his new place. He's been telling us how excited he is to move into his new condo. So we'll get to see what that looks like as he trades live on YouTube. And then, of course, tonight with the mentorship session on this Thursday, it's his day. So that'll be at 8 o'clock tonight, once again, in the webinar room. So hopefully we'll be able to join one or more of those sessions, 11 noon and 8 p.m. If you want to join us in the chat room, as I tell you every day, you just go to the website, bearabletraders.com, scroll down, you can get the different membership options. And I thought, hold on a sec, Carlos. Didn't we have? I don't want to speak out of turn because I read the thing.
That's a newsletter. That's a newsletter
Yeah.
discount.
Oh, okay. It's
Uh,
only
Only if you signed up to the
uh,
newsletter. So I suggest you
only
sign
if you
up
sign up
and
to the newsletter.
and
Okay.
request
Well,
a resent.
yeah, you got to sign up for the newsletter then. See, there's an opportunity for a discount if you are on our newsletter because Andrew finished his climb, and because of that, Brian announced that we're going to celebrate that. So go to the. How do you get the newsletter? I'm just looking here. Where do you go these days? Let's see.
To the bottom, it says join newsletter all the way at the bottom of the website. So just at bearwithtrace.com, all the way to the bottom, you'll see join our newsletter.
Okay. I'll take your word for that. Why don't I? You got to be on the right page, I guess. It's not on the cover page. I think it's on.
But webinars page.
Webinars page. Okay, there you go. Webinars page. I see it now. There you go. Join our newsletter. So if you want to know what that looks like, there you go. Go to our website. Go to the webinars tab right down at the bottom. Then you can join the newsletter, and then you can take advantage of that deal. Okay. So with that being said, let's get to setting some levels and get ready for this very, very sad red market so far this morning.
Yeah, sure is. All right, friends, let's set some levels. Let's start with OKLO this morning. Again, look at the drop here. Loving this today. I love the pre-market is set to 104.97. The high is pretty much not stuck, right below the previous day close, high of the lows of yesterday's in the last 2 trading days. So I'm not worried too much about that. I am going to mark down this 123.80 level. Do we have anything here to the left, or this is all-time highs? I think it is all-time highs. All right. So not much here as far as to cover this area. Another way to do that is just look at the whole dollar numbers, right? Look out for that. And if you want to really do some homework, go in here and pull out some days where you see some levels where you see some consolidation happening within the intraday. I guarantee those are going to be something to look out for. There's a level here, 107.54, so I'm going to mark that there. You can see a little bit of support also happening in the pre-market 5-minute charts, and then 96.83 is a good one as well. These moves have been so big. Be on the lookout for whole dollar numbers. They tend to be psychological levels as well, where you might see some kind of stuttering or support happening, right, depending how the overall market is going to trade as well. Next is CarMax, another one that just continues to leak off here. New low being set at 46.50 today. I do like this one. Normally does not trade very well, but man, 52-week low, and we're doing it in a very, very strong fashion here. I mean, we haven't been down here. Wow. 2020 was the last time we were anywhere near this area. So let's take a look here, going back a couple of years. 51.41 is a good one. Have a level of 43.21, and all the way down here, just in case, 37.83. I think that's a stretch, but if it happens, we are ready for it. Let's take a look at Oracle as it's trying to maintain its gap up here from 3 weeks ago. Right here, we had this beautiful gap up, and we kind of held it for a little bit. We're approaching the support line, which is down at a 291.19. So I'm going to put a level right here. Low of the pre-market is just above that at 295.26. So I'm going to put a level there as well. And then high of the pre-market over at 305.38. So once you do that, you're pretty much set. And then if we were to lose at 291 level, I mean, there's nothing up here. This thing went all-time highs on this incredible gap up, friends. So again, all-time highs, just crushed it. Was it earnings? I believe it was earnings, but I don't recall 100%. But I want to say it was that. They just crushed their numbers. It was okay. Absolutely. All right, there we go.
Oh yeah, they had that big pipeline backlog, and it was it was earnings that they caused. Hey, quickly, Carlos, I was just reminded. Apparently, I'm supposed to be trading with our friends at Peak Capital. So
all right,
I'm going to jump over there, and I'm hoping maybe John can come over and help or support us. But
sure,
I forgot. So
all right, no worries, man. Happy trading, and we'll see you a little bit later around 10:30 or so, or maybe tomorrow if we don't see you today, man. All right, awesome. Perfect. All right, friends, we'll continue here. Baba is next. Let's see what we got going on for Baba. Low of the pre-market right now, we have 173.84, so we'll slam one there towards the top. Plenty of levels, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Previous day close, we got everything going on up there. Again, has kept up pretty good, but has not traded well in the intraday, so I'm hoping today, with the way the pre-market looks right now, this drop that we're getting into the market open can be something that translates to good intraday action. So hoping to see some of that this morning. All right, last one on the list is going to be on my primary list is PLTR, which again also dropping here with everything else, so nothing special. 173.11 is the low of the pre-market, and if you look at this daily, you have plenty of stuff towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Previous day close, almost where the pre-market high is. So again, a lot of the work is being done for you when it comes to daily levels on this one. Towards the bottom, I'm going to mark down 169.40. If we continue to lose this low of the pre-market, that can be an area. But you also have this one right here too, where you had a little bit of resistance coming up to 171.54. So I'm going to mark that there as well. All right, excellent, friends. That is what we have so far. So OKLO, CarMax, Oracle, BABA, POTR. Secondary list, I have Tesla. I'm also going to add NVIDIA here, right? And with Tesla and NVIDIA, I'm thinking about Apple. I'm thinking about all these other magnificent 7 tickers that can get going. The Amazons of the world. We'll be thinking about those as well. All right, let's take a look at what our team is watching this morning. Let's go into our chat. Who do we have here? Peter, he's going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, POTR, secondary list, AMD, OKLO, Apple, and Oracle as well. Mike is watching Amazon and scanners. So Mike likes Amazon, and Mike is always watching Amazon. So I got to look out for his message. If he sends something on Amazon, we'll definitely look at it. Gary's looking at POTR and OKLO on his end. And Brian this morning trading live with probably Thor in chat, OKLO, CarMax, Tesla, POTR, NVIDIA, and the overall market spies and cues. Brendan D is watching OKLO, POTR, Tesla, AMD, and Rigetti. Ooh, Rigetti spaghetti. What is Rigetti up to? RGTI. Rigetti, not much. Dropping with everything else. So, all right, I see Brian in chat. Good morning, Brian. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect and let you guys in chat do your thing. All right. Stop the chat there. Very, very good. And all right, friends. So less than 7 minutes to the market open. Peter went to trade with P Capital, and John might join us here to cover as well. But if he does not, we'll be ready to go, and we'll get you guys through the trading morning at least. All right, so let me set up my charts. I got the 1 minute. We got the 5 at the bottom, and we are set to go. Let's see here. Where is, did I switch this up? Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right. Should be an interesting day with everything gapping down today. So much in the red. Hard to pick out what's really in play on its own today, right? So it's just not much on there. But man, everything is red. Archer, Joby, these two aviation tickers, UPST. I mean, you name it is on here. Circle of Internet, which has been one to make some noise lately. MU continues to drop. I mean, just everything is on here today. Pick your favorites. Pick your favorites. All right. I'm not watching Rigetti today. It's been such a tough trader, man. I got it yesterday again, twice. This thing made me wait. So we did take a long on this thing. Took forever, but we did get some nice move up there. But 2 times this thing has made me take a couple of shots at it, then eventually working out. RGTI, yeah, but I'm not gonna watch it. Nice, I'm not gonna watch this one. Not today. And watch it be one of the best trading days now that I am not watching it. Will not shock me. All right. Let me update my watch list here to the side. And we have OKLO. Just updating my list on trading terminal. I'm sorry, Dash Trader Pro. CarMax. Oracle, I have BABA, PLTR, and then I have Tesla. On the secondary, NVIDIA, Open, LAC. That's a risky one. Sweet. Can I explain how is the Rising Devil? So yes, the Rising Devil it's basically a strategy. Let me see if I find a good one today. It'll be on a gap up. A ticker. Let's see if I find a good setup. It's usually a stock that's moving higher into the pre-market. I'm gonna give you the Reader's Digest, right? We had a whole video on this as well. That this is one of Brian's strategies. So usually a stock that pops up at the market open, right? Let's say it's been selling down. Usually the best candidates are the ones that are weak, right? Selling down. Actually, let's take a look at BABA, for example. Right? It's been selling down at the market open. Pops up. but then it drops, right? So we call it a rising devil because it's a devil trying to, this is Brian's explanation. It's a devil that's trying to rise that eventually gets slammed down. And then the opposite is of a fallen angel, right? It's a stock that's been going up, market opens, pretend this is the market open here. It drops like this, and then you're looking to take it long, right? So kind of like a fallen angel that's looking to go back up to heaven. This is how Brian explains it, which is some more details to it, obviously, but you got to watch the video, right? He has a good video on this strategy and some of the things to look for. Today, that strategy, though, could be a little difficult because everything is moving the same. Like, there's nothing that's sticking out. So I'm going to be, again, keeping an eye on the SPY and just kind of seeing how the overall market is pushing things around here. Are we going to continue with this weakness? Today's one of those days where I probably won't go against the SPY much, right? Much. So I want the momentum of the overall market to kind of be in my favor here. So, which typically I do look for that. It's not an indicator. It's not something you should put a lot of weight on. But I like to see things going in my direction, right? It's if you're going to have things going your way, you want to have as much as possible in your favor. And again, no short buys, friends, because and yeah, you did mention yesterday SPX down to, I thought it was 66.30, but you're saying 66.20. Yeah, today's a day where it's definitely gaining some ground. Gaining some ground with this drop here. So we're down almost 0.5% this morning. So we'll see. We'll see if there's more downside to this. 3 days in a row down. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Still some long way to go there. But one thing's for sure is we'll be here. We'll be here watching. Good morning, Mastermind. Good to have you. Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. It helps us out a ton, and we really appreciate it. Helps out the channel, helps out the show. 400 is our goal. Usually that's where we like to be at. Right now we're sitting at, what is this? If I scroll down, 175. So we'd love to be a little bit higher. We'd love your support if we can get those likes up. So 400 is usually our goal. BOTR, I like. Oh, look at BOTR go, man. Look at this pop. It's gonna be a wild open, I think. And I'm gonna be waiting. For those that know, I'm gonna wait 3 minutes after the open before I take any trades. Again, that's just usually what I do. It helps me avoid some of the volatility madness. The only thing I usually trade is 1 minute engulfing. If I see a good 1 minute engulfing pattern, I will definitely take a trade on that, right? But for the most part, I'm not. I usually don't trade anything before 3 minutes to after the market open. Peter had to go trade with P Capital. So with P Capital, once in a while, either me or him, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I went. Right, so we go trade with P Capital. It's a small group, so they can ask questions. It's a Google meeting as we trade live, so we do that. And it's his turn today. All right, here it is. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see where the action is, friends. Good morning, Mehdi. Good to see you. Typical nicey stock. CarMax getting no volume whatsoever into probably minute number 2. Typically what takes place. Man, look at OKLO Gold, $3 above the open here. There it is, 115. LAC, what is it doing here? This will probably get, it did not get halted yesterday, even after some big moves. So let's see today. It's got some good volume. Can they get back to 840? 851 was the high of the pre-market. Let's see what they do there. All right, PLTR. Let's get the volatility madness out of the way. Is it me or is everything just looks, the price action looks a little bit laggy on every ticker? It's not fluid. Or is it just me, right? Look at the way OKLO is trading. That doesn't look. POTR looks a little bit better. Okay, so it's maybe not anything. All right, POTR. Is OKLO nice? Oh yeah, OKLO is a nicey stock. I got a lot of nicey tickers today. Wow. Everything besides POTR is nicey. That explains some of that price action and volume. BABA, Oracle, CarMax, and OKLO, they're all nicey tickers. Did not notice that. So we have a full New York Stock Exchange tickers today. All right, waiting my 3 minutes. I don't see any good 1 minute engulfing. So I'm just going to be waiting my 3 minutes. Oracle doing some stuff. CarMax is dead in the water for now, at least. OKLO pulling back to the VWAP a little bit. LAC for our low flow. Well, it's not a low flow, but for our riskier traders, it's trying to go here above 7. Yeah, I'm gonna reopen my platform. Hold on, I'm gonna close my platform. I'm gonna reopen. I feel like it's laggy a little bit, man. So let me just try to reopen this, see what it looks better. Let's see if that does anything. It is laggy for you guys too, right? And what are you trading? Dash Trader Pro? It does feel like it's not moving great. And it could be just the exchanges giving us not great data flow. It does happen. Yeah, see that? See the way that's lagging there? That's not good. I mean, their spread of 50 cents does not help things, right? That's the problem. That does not help it have a nice and fluid action like Tesla. Look at Tesla go here, down $5 from the open. Wow, this is nice. All right, 3 minute mark, 4 minute mark coming up actually. Let's see if we find any 5 minute ORB. So we're past the 3 minute mark. I'm just scanning to see if we have anything great happening here. Oracle's a little messy. Did CarMax get any volume? Okay, nah, not really. Not really. All right, POTR. What are we doing, POTR? POTR could be a rising devil. You know, it's a stock that went up that might want to come back down. But again, I don't trade that strategy. We'll probably trade a little bit different. Maybe a 5 minute ORB breakdown. If we go below the VWAP, it could be a 5 minute ORB breakdown, especially with the selling pressure you're getting on the 5 minute. Look at the 5 minute. You see that big wick going from 177.20. Selling off like that's a lot of selling pressure, especially if we can close red here below the VWAP. I am very interested in a short back to the low of the pre-market 173.11. So I'm very interested in that if that's going to take place here. SPY selling off, which is definitely in our favor. Made a, oh yeah, yes. SPY selling lower. I really like POTR for a short below the VWAP here. So let's wait. Let's wait here. Let's get good confirmation. All right, here we go. I want to see it. I want to take a 5 minute ORB breakdown, but I want to see this candle at least close below the VWAP. Hopefully, it's not run too much. But here we are. Come on, a couple of seconds more. You can anticipate the drop and get in now. I hate doing that. I want to get I want to get a little more confirmation that we are going to be short here and not use this VWAP as support. SPY's dropping some more, man. Why are you going up? Give us our 5 minute ORB breakdown. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Okay, here it is, down again. I'm gonna go short, guys. Gonna go short here on POTR. 5 minute ORB breakdown. We'll love to get 173.11. I know that's a stretch, but I really like the setup here. on this one. So let's see if we can. This candle has to close red to get that momentum, right? Closes red, buyers lose faith, start bailing. Nice, come on. SPY is in our favor, friends. We could find something that has a good setup, good risk reward, and you can get short with the SPY momentum. Could be nice if it can continue here. So let's see. See, there it is, new candle. Good, good, good. Break that low. Break that low. You can do it. Struggling to get lower here. There it is. Very nice. Come on. Wow, buyers are stepping in. Buyers are stepping in. Let's see, how's OKLO doing? OKLO's actually pretty messy. Not doing a whole lot. CarMax testing the lows here, looking better with some volume now, so that's nicer. Oracle is a beautiful drop. That's a much better 5-minute ORB than what I got into. Much better, at least for right now. Jeez, look how clean that was. And then Baba as well dropping. Come on, POTR. Everybody's dropping except you. Oh, what's going on? Sure, QBTS, Faizan. Nice. Hopefully that's going for you there. If SPY continues, there's no reason for POTR to still be hanging on to this this level here. As it gets to a point where the SPY sells down to so much that the weight and the sentiment of people, it becomes short, right? Yeah, OKLO is pretty bad. I'm looking at OKLO, and if you look at it here, it's pretty messy right now. So yeah, careful on that. Here's the SPY making a new low. POTR is trying to break 175. We're just hanging above that. Again, just struggling. Baba was, see, I should have watched Baba today more closely. That's a great short, man. If you look at the 5-minute too, that's a beautiful short. But we took POTR. So let's see. Let's see if we could break that that low. I want to get to 1R on this thing. Phoenix, I'm not sure if it's having issue. It could on a day like today where the SPY is dropping in this. You usually have an increase in volume, and you know even Dash to the Pro, it seems to me a little bit lagging in some tickers, right? So it should iron out a little bit once we get further into the open here. So we do see that sometimes, you know, that they're working hard for that not to happen. But I seen even Dash, one of the best platforms there is out there, you know, have these high volume issues, right? This is not anything we haven't seen before, even with professional platforms, right? So okay, here we are. We're about to go for the dollar move here. 174. I got my hotkey ready. Oh, perfect. Okay, that's what we wanted. There it is. 174.60. So partial there. 20% because I just don't trust that this thing is going to go lower for long. So instead of 10%, we went 20% from our open position. And then let's see if we can get any more. But the SPY is just continuing to drop. Like the SPY is continuing to just bleed here. And POTR is trying to hold as much as it can. I'm glad it took 20% because look at this pullback. And the problem with that is that if it holds like that, and then the SPY eventually, if you look at it here, eventually it's gonna pull back, right? Eventually it's gonna pull back. If it starts doing that, then this thing is just gonna skyrocket, and I don't want to be in that mess when that happens. So let's see if the way continues here. 173.11 is the low of the pre-market, but here there's a lot of support here as well from the pre-market session. 173.77. You can see here all the support. So that's gonna be my next partial if we can get it, which I am dumbfounded that this thing is not dropping faster. I don't understand. Look at CarMax giving in now. OKLO as well. Tesla. See, this is why I stick to my stocks. I stick to the stocks. You know, none of this OKLO, CarMax, Oracle stuff. I gave them a chance today, and look at Tesla. It's just trading well. Look at Nvidia also, not as much. But our usual suspects trading so much cleaner than these other ones. Oh man, wow. Going long POTR, Umberto. You might as well. This thing doesn't want to sell off. You might as well go long. Wait till I get more out, please. Though, hold on a second. Wait till let me sell you my shares. Oh my goodness, it is holding. When the SPY turns around, this is gonna be a good stock to be long. Again, it's just my opinion. There's nothing factual about that at all. At all. Oh, you're asking me. Oh, and no, I will wait. Like if I wanted to go long on PLTR, I will wait for the markets to start doing this pullback. Because if it's doing this now and the market continues to drop, it's going for 655, as you can see here, and it's doing this where it's really holding. I will wait for the SPY to start turning around, and then go long on it. So I'm going to look for that on PLTR. See, there's a SPY doing a little pullback. So yeah, I think this is a very strong stock. It does not want to sell off anymore. Let's see here. Let's see if it will give in. Yeah, Javier, I don't think it's the platforms. I think it's the exchanges. I think the exchanges are a little bit laggy because when the SPY drops, and you'll notice too, when the SPY does big moves like this, like it's doing now, you're gonna see the exchanges struggle with data because just the sheer amount of volume that's pushing through. You see it a lot. You see a little bit here with some of these tickers, especially on the New York Stock Exchange tickers. They're acting a little funny. I restarted my Dash Trader Pro, and I think something got a little bit better, but I don't think it's your platform. So, if it's the exchanges, no matter what platform you are in, Dash, Trader Pro, Trading Terminal, Thinkorswim, you're gonna have that issue because we all get the data from the same place. All right, the SPY is going for 655, friends. Down, down, down we go. Yes, finally. Come on, give us a little bit more. You could do 73, 77. No, I'm not gonna be greedy. I'm gonna take another partial here because this thing will laugh in my face and go back up to VWAP and stop me out. So another 20%. Because this stock is strong. It's just not budging at all. All right, so 20% on this one. OKLO's trying to bounce back. Baba was a beautiful short. Tesla was a great one as well. So hopefully you guys traded that. Nvidia took a bit. Oh, look at that. Look at that pullback. You see also too, like when I'm switching charts, how long it's taking to load. That's usually not normal on regular days. Oh, I'm out. I'm out of break even. So glad I read this right. So glad I took 20 and 20. Because now we have a nice green trade. If not, if I would have taken 10 and 10, that would have sucked. But I'm going to flip now, and I'm going to look at potentially a VWAP breakout. This stock is strong. It really is. So I'm hoping for a pullback here, and I'm going to take it long. I just don't want to flip my position and go long on it. I want to actually have a strategy for doing that. Other than the SPYs turning around and the stock didn't want to sell off, right? It's not really a strategy. That's just an opinion. So it's not, wow. It's not pulling back. It says, forget you. I'm going to 177. My goodness. And I don't think this pullback is going to be big enough for us to get in because we want to be near VWAP. So I don't think it's going to be enough here. Let's see. Yeah, POTR, it's a beast. It's a beast. So hopefully you guys took it long. If you were watching it right closely, hopefully you guys took it long here. Bob is coming back up. Oracle. We might have a lot of opportunities for VWAP breakout now, guys. Here's OKLO. OKLO looks very nice. You got the pullback there already. Let's see how next candle does here. 18 seconds to the next candle. This candle closes. This looks decent. And hopefully the SPY continues to rebound here. That's going to help a lot. All right, here's our confirmation candle. This thing has to close around 114.50, or at least start heading in that direction. Right now, the VWAP is not working. We're not getting our signal for the VWAP breakout here. Unless this becomes a nice wick and we start shooting back up here in this around this area, I'll start jumping in. Give yourself enough room on this one. Take less shares and then make your no, not telling you what to do. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take less shares and I'm gonna set my stop to around 112.50. For me, it's got to be lower than that. Anything else, you're gonna get stopped out. And take less shares because the spread on this actually not bad right now. 15-20 cents, not bad. All right, here it is. SPY's pushing. Okay. All right, we're going long. Long OKLO. Stop under 112.50. Let's see if we can get a slingshot move to 116.50. Will be awesome. It's got the juice to do it. Let's see if we can break here. Struggling. It's taking too long. You want that move to happen so quick. You know, so quick. But it's taking long here. We didn't get that momentum play here, but the SPY is helping us. It's pushing higher. Yeah, see, POTR, beautiful, but you didn't get. Is that what is this candle? Is that right? There's some funky activity in POTR today, or just the overall market. Oh wow, that's beautiful, guys. But again, we couldn't trade this, right? We didn't get the pullback deep enough to jump in on this thing, so it's really not tradable. But man, what a nice move here. All right, let's see. Oh man, just give us one leg up above 116. Let's see if we can get it done here. I know. I wish it was this easy. Today was easy on the downside. Today was easier, not easy, easier if you knew what you were looking for, if you had a strategy, right? Because a lot of stuff, I picked not the wrong thing, but I didn't get the best ticker out of POTR short. But if you looked at anything else, many of our other stocks, awesome. You know, are awesome. Peter's trading. He's trading at P Capital. So he's with our P Capital team this morning. So every once in a while, P Capital, we trade with them live in chat, small group, and we take questions. We trade live. They can talk back to us because it's like a Google meeting, so they get that hands-on live trading experience there. So he's doing that today, and he'll be back either a little bit later. We'll see him tomorrow. Peter would have been in. I could imagine Peter trading some of these shorts very early on. You know, he likes to get in quickly on these shorts, and he loves short trades more than long. So he could be doing very well right now. All right, let's get it. Okay, here we go. Very nice. All right, I'm gonna take 10% here because I think we still. Oh yes, 10% here. I think we still have a lot to go. But if we start dropping too much, I'll take another 10%. I don't want to bring back a lot on this trade. So let's see if we can push up. So that's usually how I decide whether 10% or 20s, depending what I feel. If it's gonna go higher, take a little bit less so you're not killing all your shares, right? You don't want to kill your shares. So I decide based on that. 10 or 20 on POTR. I had a big feeling it was going to turn around and squeeze higher just because it didn't sell off. So I took 20% both times for that reason. So that's typically how I decide. Could be wrong, could be right. But again, that is the wiggle room that I leave there when it comes to those two partials. percentages. All right, OKLO had a big drop today. So I'm hoping there's a little bit of an overreaction, because if you look at this daily, why we drop so much? I mean, there's no need for this. It's a big drop on OKLO. So again, maybe an overreaction. And I'm sure the SPY weakness is not helping it. Oh, let's see. Let's see what we can get here. Little rejection of 116. SPY is rejecting. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. And it's going lower too. So SPY right now in the 5-minute, putting a decent rejection of that 657. That might start to play into this. Yeah, I usually move my stop higher. Richard wants to take a partial. I don't want to, go red on the trade, so I usually do that. So we'll see here. It's right above my entry, so I'm hoping it can hold here, but it is really having a tough time going higher here. So analyst lowers OKLO's targets to 110, 117. Yeah. Lower or raise? Because I doubted they had a target of what they had, right? So I doubted they had the target of all the way, what was there? 130 or something. I doubted they had that target. So they probably just put their target there, and that's probably what they're thinking the stock is worth. All right, we're just barely hanging on to the rest of this trade here. Yeah, I'm gonna get out. So I'm gonna get out. Wow, right at break even. So out right at break even. I don't want to go red in this. I don't want to give no money back on this trade. So SPY selling down. Let's see what else is out here, friends. Man, look at this move on POTR. So glad I took enough out of this one. CarMax continues lower, but volume is really dead, so it becomes very difficult to trade. OKLO, if I had a lower entry, I could have held on to this, but again, I don't want to give anything back. Tesla bounce. Tesla could be a good view at breakout if we decide to turn around, but the SPY's got to join the party. This could be a good view. This is gonna be a good view at breakout, actually. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Nvidia did break out, retesting the VWAP now. Tesla's the one I like. I'm gonna wait for Tesla. I'm gonna wait for Tesla for that VWAP breakout. I think it's gonna be a good one. AMD did break, did test. And you could have easily been in. Like if I was watching this, yeah, I probably would have been long here in this candle. Well, maybe this one, waiting for it to kind of go over the red candle, right where the pullback is. So I probably would have been long in this area, 156.80, which in this case will have not worked out, right? Because you see the sell-off coming here, and again, it's just a SPY right now. So I'm really looking at the SPY and just kind of seeing when this thing turns around, what stock is in the best position to take advantage of it. And that's what I'm going to be waiting for. Tesla, POTR is going higher. OKLO might go higher now. Come on, OKLO. You couldn't do this earlier? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's the SPY's fault. It's not your fault. I get it, but damn. Wow. Where's my coffee? My goodness. That would have been such a big trade. And it's gonna go high. It would have been such a big trade. Oh, wow. No, it's not. It's not a bad week. Trading. Yes, it was a tough day. Today's a great day. There's a lot of opportunities today. We had POTR short night. We got $1 out of this, so that's pretty good. You know, I wanted more though. I wanted 173, given how the way the market was selling. So today's a good. There's a lot of opportunities out there. You know, in OKLO, there's another one that just I just barely missed them my break even, but we got 117, we got 116.20. 117 would have been, you know, another dollars. You know, it makes a big difference. So I don't think it's a tough week. Now, if you look at the overall SPY is having the markets overall are having a tough week, right? Because they're 3 days back to back red. Doesn't work for them. What's one I was looking at was pretty good. AMD. Was it AMD? I think it was AMD. AMD consolidating right at the VWAP. So yeah, I won't say a bad week. The last 2 days though, intraday has been a little bit tougher than usual. Somehow we made it work. It took a lot of shots. It took a lot of shots, a lot of waiting. I like AMD here, guys. Coming right back up again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go long AMD, friends. So long AMD. We tried to do the breakout here, failed. Let's see if we can get something out of this one. Hopefully the SPY can help us too. Let's see if we can get to the high of the day, which is 157.61 will be it. And long NVDL, yeah, Nvidia's another one that's off the VWAP too. And then Tesla's going the other way. Ooh, I thought it would be moving up towards the VWAP, but it's not. It's going south. So Tesla not in bouncing here, which was a great short. So again, so many really good short opportunities if you're in the right stock today. I don't like this sell-off on the SPY, man. With my A&D position right now, I really do not like this. MD still holding, but this is not. It makes a new low, and we're going south. We're going south. Let's see. Yeah, what do we have in 1 minute? Let's take a look here. What date is coming out? Peter's frozen because the camera stays frozen to where you left it last. X16 home sales. Yeah, that doesn't do a whole lot usually for the markets. Let's see if AMD can hold here. I'm hoping the SPY will bounce off the lows. Will be great. You did a scalp on. I ran through S4. IREN. Let's take a look here. Oop. Here it is. REN. Oh wow, look at that. Very nice. You have breakout. Very good. Awesome. All right. AMD still holding. This might make us sway a little bit. Baba, look at that. Baba did a nice little VI breakout here. Not the cleanest, but that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool, Baba. Baba's trading well today. This is really good trading from Baba this morning. This is very clean. Anybody trade that? That is actually very clean. Nvidia taking off. Yeah, see that? I'm hoping AMD will follow suit, but AMD is going the other way. My stop 156.20ish. Under that, there's really no point in staying in. We can get back in if it comes back up. But 156.20, we don't want it going below that. We really don't want it even closing below the VWAP. We want it to stay open above the VWAP on this candle to continue to use that as support. So again, if it's trending like this sideways, it's really got to stay above the VWAP. It doesn't do that. I might be just taking it off. Wow, 118 on OKLO. Did anybody take that trade and survive that pullback? You guys take OKLO? Anybody trade OKLO, or was I the only one that took that trade? In OKLO from 112. Yes, yes, yes. But did you guys survive? Jose, you still in it? Good job, man. Good job. Nice. I gotta write a break. Yeah, you know what? That's the rule. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I say, you know what, let me hold to my style, let me give a little more room, let me use the VU app. But this rule sometimes saves you money, sometimes it costs you money. You can't have it both ways. So got a small position in OKLO. Michael did not survive. I don't blame you, man. And the stock with the spread too, it's could be tough. But if you did, congrats, you're doing very, very well right now, going to 118. Beautiful. Looks like our AMD is trying to do something. Let's see if it can actually get some legs here. Come on, AMD. Let's make our day. So far, one good trade on PLTR. Actually, my trade has been really good. Like execution-wise, I can't complain. I'm not taking dumb trades like we did yesterday or the day before. So the execution is good. It's just we're not getting the big run that we would like to see. So, but execution for the most part has been spot on. We're not taking anything just on gut feelings here. Tesla coming back to the VU app. Yes, the one I was looking at. Yeah, see, this is nice. This is nice. Tesla's nice. If the spike continue higher, this can be a good one. So let's see if it gives us a good VWAP. I'll take, since I'm in two positions, I'll take a smaller size on it than I normally would if I'm going to get into two positions. Just not risk too much back of what we already made. Let's see, Tesla, AMD is doing some stuff. I want AMD at the high of the day. I'll take a partial there. High of the day on AMD is 157.50, so we're moving higher there. But I want to see if high of the day is going to be a thing for AMD. Yep, I'm watching it. Yep, I'm definitely watching on the other screen. I can put it here as well. Here's AMD, so we're moving. It's always question myself, am I being greedy by waiting for 157.59? I don't think I am. That's 2 hours. I don't think it's much to ask, right? Let's see. And we're not going to fight over a couple of cents though either. We're not going to do that. Let's see, Tesla. Eyes on Tesla still. I think there's a good opportunity there for a VWAP breakout. I think it looks really good. If we can get the VWAP breakout set up. All right, AMD, let's get to that 157.59. You can do it. There's the push. I'm not gonna argue over 7 cents. It's like, oh, I got the wrong ticker put in here. AMD. What happened? Okay, here we go. There it is. Okay, nice. All right, there it is. AMD. So partial here on AMD at the high of the day. I'm still keeping an eye on Tesla. See if it comes back above the real. Here's another chance on Tesla's going through it again. So I'm watching Tesla over here. Let's see if it can go through it. AMD is doing its thing. Very good. I can only imagine what I'm not even going to look at OKLO. I don't have it up my screen. I can only imagine what OKLO is doing right now that everything's going up. I can only imagine you guys making so much money on OKLO right now. Congrats to you. I want my cut if you took that trade because I helped you. And the way you could pay me is by hitting that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We appreciate it. We're sitting at what is it now? Answer to it. I actually don't get paid for you hitting the thumbs up, but it helps the channel grow. 295 likes, so we'd love to be at 400. All right, so let's take another partial on AMD. So I'm going to take another partial here. Oh, wait, let's wait for the momentum to actually slow down. Let's not be too fast. So let's see, 158 in the cards for AMD. And also eyes on Tesla, guys, because Tesla is doing our move now, right? So you got the breakout candle on Tesla. You got the pullback now. 20 seconds left to this candle. And then if we can get the confirmation next, I think that's another a great play there. So AMD, did we hit? No, we didn't hit 58. We did hit 58. I missed it. We did hit 158. Now I'm going to take a partial here so I can look at Tesla. So let's see if Tesla, now I feel more comfortable focusing on Tesla a little bit more. So Tesla is trying to do the confirmation candle. So keep selling down. So it's trying. So for those that don't know the VWAP, this is available over on YouTube. We have this strategy where it's the VWAP breakout, and I explain everything in detail what I'm looking for. So if this thing sounds foreign to you, check out the YouTube. It's available on YouTube for everyone. I think it's open to the public. So go to the Bearish Traders channel, and then look for VWAP strategy, and it'll come on. And then this has failed. This has failed our strategy. So glad. So important to again wait for these confirmations. It's so critical because here, if you would have been in, yeah, it can still bounce and work like AMD did, right? AMD, right, bounce back. You kind of did get a confirmation, and it's just made you wait. But if you could prevent having to hold through pullbacks, it's just much easier that way. Much easier. Okay, AMD is trying. Oh, look at Tesla come back. Damn. I'm gonna go long Tesla. Yes, I'm long Tesla. That's a good confirmation there. Let's see if that can go. And then eyes on AMD as well. All right. So let's see. Tesla. My stop on Tesla, you take less shares. I took less shares in this thing. So 427.50-ish, right around this area. Which screen you guys are looking at here? So right around this area. I don't want it below that. So you got to give enough room. That's like $1 plus, almost $2. But that's okay. We're looking for the high of the day, right? This is our target, 435. So take less shares. You're going to make your money here on the move and not on the amount of shares you take, right? So don't try to be a hero, and then if this thing doesn't work out, you get caught in a really bad loss and wipe out the wins for the week. You don't want to do that. So just trade small. Trade small. I always tell my new traders, like, you don't have to trade big. Like starting out, trade small. You don't gotta trade a massive amount. As a new trader, trade, $25 risk. If you could make $50 a day, that's $1,000 a month as a part-time gig, an hour a day, sitting in a computer clicking a button. Like, come on, that is awesome. Like, where can you make that type of money? You can't. So just $50 a day, right? Gets you to where you need to be. So you need to go crazy. Do not need to go crazy. Right, so my math right? 50, it is, right? 50 times 4, yeah, it is, okay. All right, Tesla, come on, buddy. I'm gonna try to be patient on this thing. What is the SPY doing? AMD's just stuck. My AMD trade, oh, maybe we're moving it now. It's just stuck here, like it's hitting some kind of resistance area. I don't think it's this moving average because I think this is like the 200s. Nobody cares about the 200 on a 1 minute chart. Nobody cares about that. So it's hitting some kind of, I think it's just a psychological level at 158. I think that's all it is here. So, all right, Tesla's doing his thing. So we risked almost $2 here. So I at least want to get that in my first partial, right? Because if you're going to risk that much, you want to get at least that in your return. So I want to be a little bit patient. See if we get 431.50. I will definitely take a partial there. AMD is just stuck with this 158.20 level. Okay, here it is. 431 on Tesla. Let's go back to Tesla. No, 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 no. Go the other way. Let's see, struggling. And here AMD is trying to push. All right, so if you just joined, guys, 2 trades right now. So I'm in long AMD, long Tesla, both VWAP breakouts, and AMD already got a couple of partials in, looking for 158.40, and Tesla struggling. We need at least 431.50 on this thing. So pulling back now on Tesla. I think there's a lot of upside to all these tickers today. With all the red there is, there's a lot of upside. So I want to be patient. I think it's a lot of upside today. Do I want to look at POTR and OKLO? Let's see. I really want to look at this. Wow, 120. Man, what a beautiful move. Why did you stop me out? Ah, man. That is brutal. And then what's the other one, friends? You guys said POTR? Holy smokes. Wow. I'm thinking I'm trading well. Man, what is going on? It's so funny. You think, oh, you're crushing, you're killing it, and you look at the other stuff that's moving. It's like, what? Look at your TR, man. Green 175 was the breakout at the VWAP. I can't even talk to 180. $5 move. Man. Tesla's pulling back to my break even. My stop on Tesla is 127.50 or so. So we'll give some room here. AMD is going higher, so that's good. We might take another partial here on AMD. Just grinding high. So I'm gonna take another partial here just in case the fun is gonna be over. So partial on AMD, and then Tesla, hoping that it can stay above the VWAP. Jeez. PLTR. Baba, same thing. Today was a VWAP breakout day, friends. VWAP breakout day. Wow. Look at this. Baba, same thing. We just beautiful VWAP breakout. Oracle, not as clean as some of the other ones we have on deck. CarMax is just garbage. There's no love for CarMax. See, these guys, they're really hurting because they have other issues. This is not market related, right? So CarMax is just having problems, right? So that's why they're dropping like this. Everything else is just market related. So if the market starts bouncing, they're gonna start bouncing. But man. I got John text. Where's John? John said hello. I saw text come across. No, John, it's all good, man. All good. All good. John is working on some stuff, so no, all good, my friend. Oh, wow. Friends, I'm having. I thought I was having a great day, but if you traded other stuff, you're having a euphoria today on some of these tickers. So AMD moving up some more. I'm gonna be patient now. I don't want to take partials like a madman. I'm already 3 partials in on Nvidia. What we need now, we need Tesla to join the party here and start going higher. So if Tesla starts going to where it needs to go, then we're gonna have a really nice all around day here as far as executions. I mean, our executions were awesome. Our executions were great today, guys. So we did really, really good. Whether it was green or not, whether it ran like POTR or OKLO, that's a whole different story. But our executions were really spot on today. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, Jonas, rub it in. Great trading day on POTR. Yeah, just rub it in there. You know, just man. I said it too. I set you guys up, and I was setting myself up too, but I didn't get the signals to jump in. I said like this stock is not selling off. SPY continues to sell off. SPY was making a new low, and this stock just kept holding and holding and giving us a really hard time. And exactly that, when the SPY had a little bit of green, just a little bit of a turnaround, this thing said poof, it just took off. It had no business being red. Did not want to gap down today. And it's showing it right now how amazing it's moving. So, wow. I I'm 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 FOMOing on this one. Not really FOMOing. It's just it's nice to see. It's nice. All right, AMD making a new high here, 158.83, maybe 159. I'll take another partial. As we gain some traction, and then my Tesla is just stuck. Like Tesla is just having a really tough time getting going here. So if it takes too long, I'm not even gonna wait for my stop, because now this is just gonna take away from our gains today. So I'm just not gonna wait for it. I mean, I want to be as patient as possible because I know this thing has the room. It has the room to at least, I want to say realistically, I would love the high of the day, but realistically, I say 433 is not far fetched. You know, given the way things are moving today. I don't think it's too much to ask for, right? And look at the way the SPY is moving. Look at the SPY. It's a beautiful comeback here from the low. So I don't think it's much to ask out of Tesla to join in on some of that. All right, guys, what we got going on? T-Man, I took so many damn trades. T-Man is like, take the damn trade. I took many trades. Actually, this is the most I traded in a long time. I mean, 2 trades at once. I mean, how many trades we took today? We took OKLO long, right, partial, and then stopped out, unfortunately, and then look at the move to 120. We traded then POTR short, or this one was first, I think, short. You know, partial 20%, 20%. Thankfully, I took 20% at $1 here because, again, we just talked about it. Got out here, and then this thing is going to 181. And I traded a lot, actually. And I'm in AMD, and I'm in Tesla. That's 4 trades. That's like 2 days worth of work, you know? And so far, all of them, you know, graciously, thankfully, in the green, except for Tesla right now. So, I took a lot of trades. We got a crime scene here. Yeah, I took a lot of trades today. So, all right, AMD. Do we take another partial here and protect profits, or do we let it ride? Uh, mm. No. I miss Peter, man. It's great to have 2 people on. One person gets boring. Like, you know, you listen to me since 8:30 this morning. If you logged in that early, you're gonna get tired. We're like, oh, I'm tired of hearing this guy. You know, change is good. Change is good. But I think today me and Peter would have been in so many trades because it is just that type of day, right? Like if it was by myself yesterday doing the show, oh, we would have been so bored. Oh my goodness. There was just nothing happening. There was nothing taking place, right? Peter's trading on for P Capital for today. He's trading live with the P Capital team. So Yeah, how about open? What did open do today? Look at the volume. Oh, open did break out here. Broke a new high, up 6.2. Tons of volume as usual. So open is doing some stuff. SPY is making a new high, which is nice. Tesla, can we do something, please? 433. In AMD, we won 159 AMD. So just in 2 trades, guys. I'm in Tesla long and I'm in AMD long. 1 5-minute ORB today, and then the rest was all VWAP breakout. I love this strategy. It is so good. It's so clean, and very easy to follow. Right. The rest is on you. Just to be disciplined. The rest is on you. So be disciplined. Follow the rules. Be picky. Quality over quantity. It's the rest is on you, man. The strategy's there. You just gotta follow it. Obviously get a lot of screen time to see what looks good, what looks bad. Sometimes it's hard for me to explain. It's like, I don't like that one. It's like, well, what? This one looks the same as that one. But that's just experience over time, looking at the price action, different way things move. I don't like this one, I don't like that one. And sometimes that's difficult to explain, but you will learn that with time. So strategies are there. Strategies are there. So, and look how little we traded. We were at 10:30. We took 4 trades, and that's on the top end of how much we trade, right? It's the top end. We usually don't trade that much. So can't stress enough that the minute I reduce the number of SPY's going higher, let's see if Tesla can go. The minute I reduce the number of trades I was taking per day, drastic change in my overall outcome on trading. Drastic. So less is more in some cases. All right, so I am holding out for 433. I wanted 431.50, but we waited so long. I think 433 might be a good spot. Might be a good spot. It depends. It depends, Terrence. So on a stock like Tesla, you're not going to take a boatload of shares, right? I'm not going to take 500 shares on Tesla. It doesn't make any sense. But there's some stocks like, OKLO. You could take, well, OKLO's a bad example. I'm thinking of the price, like 118. But OKLO's a bad example because I do take less shares on that too because of the spread. The spread is insane. But there's stocks like AMD that, don't move all that much. There's stocks that you could take 500 shares easily. There's some stocks at a lower price that move. Intel, you could take 1,000 shares on Intel. That's how much I take on Intel. It barely moves. It barely moves, right? So it depends on how much you want to risk. That's really what matters here. Dustin, you started rubbing it in. You started rubbing in your POTR trade. I think it was you. Rubbing in your gray trays over there. OKLO 120. Very nice. CarMax drop in. Let's take a look at what we have. Oracle. Oracle is one where, again, you can get $2 very easily. You don't got to take a boatload of shares either. You could take, a very small amount and make good money on it. So, when you think about shares, think about how much you want to risk. That's really the question, right? And starting out, you should risk very little. Like I tell my traders, risk literally $25. Like risk $25 per trade, and if you can make, I'm gonna say 30, depending how you're trading. I know you might think I'm gonna say 50, but if you can make 30, 35, 40, you're doing pretty good starting out. You're doing really good starting out. So yeah, Tesla's tough, right? Tesla, look at everything else going. Tesla's just not doing it. I might get out of it actually because I don't want to ruin my day with Tesla. I might jump out. All right, we're getting very toppy on AMD. You look at AMD, look, it's just this high here is struggling. I'm not saying I'm gonna get out of it, but maybe take a partial just to protect the shares, right? Just to, I don't want to. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a partial, and I'm taking 20%. So, we have an amazing move on it. We don't want to come back with a boatload of shares. And then Tesla is right at my break even. It's been staying above the VWAP. So I don't know on this one. I don't know. It's another one that's just it hit a wall at 431 and it never moved up. 5K account. So a $5,000 account, you gotta get past the PDT rule, obviously. But I think, see, some traders say, oh no, you gotta have more than that. I think you could do it with any size account. Obviously, I think 5,000 should be the minimum. But I think it's just be realistic and think percentages. Think percentages. So with a $5,000 account, let's say you make 0.5% of that. That's a realistic number that you can make. But you're not gonna make 10-20% just because you want to make $250, right? That's not realistic, right? So I think it's possible. Just be realistic on the number of what you can get out of a 5,000. And obviously, trading higher stocks like a stock at $430 becomes a little bit more difficult because of the buying power. But there's plenty of stocks under 150 that you could trade. There's also a lot of um, I don't recommend 2 times leverage, but there are other tickers that mirror the stock, like a Tesla, like Nvidia, at least the big ones, that you could trade as well. That's easy. That's better. You have better management, buying power management. And that's why Andrew does some of those tickers too, because although he has incredible buying power, he can manage it sometimes a little bit easier. So, um, all right, I'm going to, and he takes a boatload of shares too, like 50,000 shares for Andrew on NVDL is not a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna bail on Tesla. I'm not gonna wait for my stop. My stop was at 27.50, and we might get there very, very quickly the way this thing is moving. I'm glad I took a partial on AMD because we're pulling back. The SPY is just pulling back a little bit, and I think that's what might be causing not why. That's exactly why this is happening. Because if you look at the SPY here compared to Tesla, it's exactly the same chart. Exactly the same chart. Except Tesla didn't take part in the big run. Like it didn't really take part in the big move. And side by side, 10 o'clock. Like if you look at Tesla here, you see this nice move on the SPY. Tesla, see here, nice move on the SPY. Tesla did not do that. It just kind of stays stuck. So yeah. Oh, Stefan, great comment. Yeah. So if you don't, if you trade options, a whole different story. You got a lot more room for leverage, so you are able to do that. So yeah, absolutely. There's other vehicles you can use to trade. So that's also a good idea. What about CMAX? CMAX is another option. We got a couple of traders in our community that trade with CMAX. And they're pretty good at what they do. So I don't think there's the commissions are high though. The commissions are pretty high. But aside from that, they're there's an option as well. Obviously, you got to send your money overseas, so it's a little bit different. But I recommend just I will wait it out. I will wait it out because I think PDT is going away pretty soon. And once that happens, I don't know how CMEC is going to survive because the only reason you go there is to get past the PDT rule. So they better come up with something quick. They got to innovate quickly to stay alive here because once they get rid of that rule, or at least bring it down to 2,500, you're not paying a wire transfer fee to send your money somewhere else and have all the restrictions and high commissions when you could just trade right here with Interactive Brokers or any other broker using Dash Trader Pro. It's just not going to happen, right? Their fees are really high, which is a shame because you have traders that have a lower account, and now you hit them with these excessive fees. It's like you're putting them behind the eight ball. So, and I don't blame them. They have to make money, right? But yeah, once that happens, I don't see any reason why you're going to be going out to CMEG. But they're great now. A lot of our traders use their accounts, and that's an option. If I get green on Tesla, I'm just probably going to get out. I'm just probably going to get out because I just don't. You know what? I'm thinking of getting out now. It's just because of the way the SPY looks like it's going to go lower. In a stock like this one, just like we saw POTR that did not want to go down, right? POTR did not want to go down. The SPY showed a little strength. It shot up. Same thing with this one. This one does not want to go out. Does not want to follow the SPY. So the minute the SPY does some kind of red move, this thing is going to flush because it's just at 431. It has hit a wall. So as long as the SPY continues to go higher, I'll stay in it. But the minute you start seeing some weakness here, this stock is probably going to plummet, right? And that's where we get that gut feeling. That's not factual. It's a gut feeling because we've seen it happen plenty of times where a stock doesn't want to do whatever the overall market is doing, things flip in its direction, and then it's like, okay, yes, let's go, right? That's where we get that from. I didn't read that in any book. It's just based on seeing a lot of price action charts, right? So here it is. SPY is going up. Tesla is trying to go up. All right, guys, we're gonna let's give a couple of books away. Actually, I don't have books today. I do not have books today. So what I do have is a 1-month elite membership. Don't do it yet. I gotta set it up and I gotta give you the hashtag code. So don't send anything yet. Let me set it up, and I'll let you know what that hashtag is. So we can take care of you guys with a 1-month elite membership for BBT. 365 likes, friends. Would love to be at 400. That is our goal, and it helps us out a ton. It really, really does. So we'd love for you guys to help us get there. If you enjoy hanging out with us, enjoying being here, the likes. The only reason why we ask is because it really does help the channel a lot. And we want to grow the community. We don't. You guys see how much we make off YouTube? It's nothing. We don't make nothing off of YouTube unless you have 1,000,000 followers. You're not making money on YouTube. Just so small. So it's really just to help the channel grow and to help help the art trading community, and we love this stuff. We truly love this stuff. And hanging out with you guys and making connections and meeting some of you guys in the meetups and all that stuff it's awesome. It's a great part of trading. Oh, we love you back, man. We truly enjoy this, and you have to, because if you don't, you're not gonna do this. Why go live on YouTube every day? When I could just trade on my own and sip my coffee, and on Wednesdays go have a cigar outside in my backyard, right? At least while the weather's still good. Because I'm saying that because that's how I used to trade before when I was listening to Andrew. Now I'm here with you guys, which I don't mind. I enjoy it. I really do. But yeah. Let's set that up. Giveaway. Giveaway. All right, this one is. We should do two. Since I don't have no book, let's do two. Let's do one for everyone. Let's do one monthly. Since you guys are already doing hashtag BBT, let's do hashtag BBT. And we'll do it for everyone. Then we'll do another one just for Lambos and Garbage Truck members. Let's do that. Because I don't have no books for you guys. So 2 giveaways for 1 month elite membership. One for everyone here, whether you're a member of the Lambos and Garbage Trucks or not. And then, although Lambos and Garbage Truck, they do get ×4, so they get a little better advantage. And then we'll do one for just the members. All right, still looking at my trades here. AMD is just hovering right below 158, 158.71. So just hovering there. And then I have Tesla just hovering above the previous day close and just below, back and forth, below and above my entry here on Tesla. So um, just monitoring, and man, what a great trading day for stocks overall. Baba, amazing. Um, uh, Oracle, CarMax to the downside, actually not too bad. OKLO going to 121. This stock is on fire, man. On fire. Baba coming down here a little bit. POTR, incredible. AMD turned out really nice. And Tesla's giving us a hard time. All right, let's give this away. So first one goes to who's the winner for today? Samuel Sam Isaiah. All right. Congratulations. Congratulations, my friend. So send me an email. 1 month elite membership for you, my friend. Let's do one more. And then when Andrew comes back, we'll do an annual one for his climb celebration. We'll do an annual elite membership at BBT. All right, so here we go. This is just for Lambos and Garbage Truck members. Right over here. Same hashtag BBT. We keep it simple today. Same hashtag BBT. There it is. If your name is crossed out, don't be offended. It's just that it's only for the Lambos things, right? So the system does that automatically. But I like people try anyways. They try to get in there. Hey, no. Hey, system could mess up. AI messes up. Computers mess up. It could mess up and sneak your name in there. You never know. You might break the system. So, A for effort, no question. All right, SPY pushing higher. All right, let's see, friends. 76 entries. We appreciate you guys for your support over at the Lambos and Garbage Truck membership. I gotta do a video today to post for you guys. We're doing a nice video. Let me post it soon. So every week we're doing a video for you guys there. All right, Trader Alex, congratulations. Email me, carlos@bibletraders.com, and we'll get that over to you. Thank you so much, guys, for, again, supporting the channel and everything else here. All right, we are just waiting for stocks to do something. That's it. So we're doing, waiting for Tesla to do something. Big bearded traders, yeah, that could be a thing too, right?
Carlos.
Hey, Brian, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Can't complain at all. Doing well today. Let's get you in here. There you go.
What a day today.
Oh, it's
Paris
beautiful,
doesn't
man.
have Paris is in the other room. He doesn't have a link, but and what's going on? I'm trying
Paris.
to get my YouTube feed. There we go.
Yeah.
Go in here.
But yeah, man. Awesome day today. So many opportunities.
Yeah, so
What did you trade?
I first trade I went in, well, I was thinking the bottom on Tesla at yesterday's low. I think I just basically jumped in, tried to pick a low too early, so I got stopped out of that trade. But then one of the traders in the room mentioned CRWV, and
Yes, CRWV.
it started
Okay.
to
Yeah.
break out through the view, through high of day. So I took that long, and
Mm-hmm.
then PLTR. I was just watching PLTR. We had that pretty choppy price action, but as soon as it around 9:45, when it really blew through the view app and started to consolidate, I thought, this thing's looks like it's going to go. So I waited for that little pullback just under
Nice.
177 there, and just
Nice.
this thing just ripped. So yeah, one not great trade, lost money on, and two good trades. What about yourself?
I traded a lot today, man. I did. I had a OKLO. for a VWAP breakout, took a partial, stopped out. Then we did PLTR for a short. That was really nice off the VWAP at the start. So partial there, then got
Yeah,
stopped out. And then it's just, did you see what it did the other way? My goodness. I was talking about
yeah.
taking it
Well,
long, and it didn't give me a good pullback after that squeeze above VWAP. But this thing, wow, took off. And then right now I'm actually in two
yeah.
trades. I'm in AMD and I'm in Tesla. Tesla's now, it's just back and
Oh,
forth
nice.
between my entry and then AMD, a couple of partials already, which is kind of seeing where it goes from here. But yeah, a lot of trading for me today, from what I normally do. Um, but it was a type of day where there
Yeah,
was a
we
lot of
had it.
opportunities, you know?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I look at the just the SPY. It sold off pretty hard right to 945. Came back
Yeah.
up and did a VWAP reversal, which I was lamenting I missed.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the kid, almost mirrored the Qs, pretty
Yeah.
much mirrored the Qs. And then this double bottom. This was right at 10 o'clock. We had a indication that the market was finding a bottom,
Yeah.
and that just everything rallied after that point.
Yeah. Great,
And it
great
looks
day.
like we might want to be we may be taking another leg up. So people didn't like that jobs the jobless claim number, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody was hoping for a lot of unemployed people. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Paris is still in the other room, and I think I'm not sure if he has a link
Is he
to
coming
the.
over? Is he trying to come over? We
Well,
can
he
get
said
him
he didn't
over.
have a link.
Okay. I'll get him a link. Um, mm, let's get him in here. All right, I send it over to him.
Wow, Nvidia's at high of day. PLTR went back to high of day.
Yeah, so many good trades. Even Bob traded great today, which normally they don't intraday trade very well lately, but even today they had a really nice move. Um, off the
Yeah,
lows.
the Qs kind of look like they're still trying to go higher here. Technology.
Yes, yes. I ran to 50 today. IREN, let's see. Oh yeah, we're almost there. Well, these next couple of bucks will be tough because the big move already that we have had, right? So it's gonna be hard to get this extra $2 to get to 50 here, dollar and change. So we'll have to see, but it won't shock me. Won't shock me at all. 50 could be tough though, because you're all the way up here. You
Right.
got a lot of resistance. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Biggest sector, this one of the sectors that's running up here. Well, energy, we've got energy up today. We've got XME, which is the metals.
Mm-hmm.
They're up today. Gold and silver up a little bit.
Yep.
Dollar's up a little bit. I just seem to be really settling into a trading range, although PLTR has other plans. Looks like it
Oh,
wants to go to 182.
sure does, man. Wow.
And that's something I always keep on my radar now. Is it just seems like there's just people that
PLTR.
just want to buy every time it pulls back. You get buyers coming in and just buying that dip.
Yeah.
Tesla's looking a little bit dicey here. Looks like it might want to roll over again. Sitting right on top of the VWAP.
Into it. Why would into it be calling me? This guy's one. Don't they make taxes? Got taxes? Into it.
Take a small short on Tesla as it's rolling over here.
Oh no. I'm gonna get out of Tesla.
Hey,
Just
everybody, I'm
looks,
back, baby.
this is the kind of trade it may, Tesla can easily just um, do a little,
Hey
look
Peter.
like it's going to break down and then just
Mm-hmm.
snap right back up. So
Yeah.
I'm not betting a lot on this short.
Oh, Carlos, you tried to short on PLTR. I get it. Okay.
I did. I did. I got some good
I thought you
partials
might
on
try a
it.
long.
Ah,
Yeah.
no, we didn't
After
get the.
the
Mm-hmm.
around 9:52, I was watching that with the little pullback, but it probably didn't quite pull back to VWAP close enough for you, eh?
Yeah, it
So
didn't.
yeah.
That's why.
So,
That's why I didn't take it. Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
Too
And,
bad.
it's so funny, man. We called this. We like, listen, because this stock did not want to sell off. Like everything was selling off. PLTR kept holding. I'm like, I'm gonna take 20%, 20%. And if this thing stops me off, the market goes the other way. This thing's gonna shoot up. And it did just that, Peter. And I mean, it more than did that, obviously. But I should have flipped my position. But we were waiting for the pullback. We never got it. We never
Yeah.
got it. How was your trading with the P Capital Group?
I didn't end up taking a single trade. I had my one
No.
trade lined up, and Brian, you can appreciate this. It was a Rising Devil trade, KMX.
Yeah.
We talked about it pre-market. It was one of the ones that we had taken a look at for earnings, and I was using an example. The funny thing, and this is what happens when you're a trader. I was showing people my screens to show the setup, and in the
Mm-hmm.
process, I moved my microphone and it disconnected. And people are like,
Oh
Peter, we
no.
can't hear you. We can't hear you. And so I'm busy struggling to reconnect my
Oh
microphone and make
man.
it work. And I missed the entry. And so I didn't
Oh,
like take it because I wasn't like watching it. Technical stuff happens. And, inadvertently, I provided a lesson there about how, like just stuff happens. But the funny thing is the trade played out exactly like I had telegraphed, right? I told them what I was looking for. We laid it out, and it's a NYSE stock. So if you look at KMX, you can see like look at when the volume comes in. That's when you know the trade is on if it's going to work out. And the it took 6 minutes, which is a long time. Usually it's like 2 or 3 minutes in, but in this case, KMX, 9:35, which is sort of the 6th minute of trading here, is when you see that huge volume spike and when it sort of picked a direction and decided that it was going to drop further. So it would have worked out great. Lovely trade. I didn't get the entry. So hey, like I was saying, one of my proudest things about trading is that used to drive me nuts. And by now, I probably would have had 5 revenge trades where I would have lost a
Mm.
bunch of money because I took bad trades. I'm very happy to say I didn't find anything else. I can say, hey, it's a shame I missed it. I'm disappointed, but stuff happens. And that's just
Yeah.
the way it goes. That's trading. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
trading.
that's trading, ain't it? Well, yep. So now it's a weird day, isn't it? Because we're definitely negative sentiment at pre-market. We started to move down at the open. We made an early sort of reversal. If I look at the Qs and the SPY, they both have the exact same pattern. Moved up to a high of day, but that's not saying much because that high of day is still very red.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have to
that's
see what
true.
the rest of this day brings. We're down. What are we down? Yeah, about 4/4 on both on all the market indices here, the SPY and the Qs. So yeah, it's still feeling pretty red, but relatively low volume. Like I'm finding that I don't know. I just if things feel lethargic, like even Nvidia that's gone to a high of day and it's gone green. Even that move up to me, if you look at the volume, it never sort of got that energetic volume that it normally gets to propel itself higher. I mean, even its RVOL is only 101%, so it's average,
Yeah.
completely average. So
All right, well, I'm going to cover some of my Tesla short here. Took this short on the VWAP loss, so
oh, Brian.
Nice, nice.
this time of day, I just looking for less movement compared to the open.
Mhm. There we go. At least we got
For
PLTR that's at a high of
20,
day with a little bit of volume. Keeping an eye on that.
yeah, there's a big order on Tesla at 425. I don't know if we're going to get there. It's probably going to partly depend on what the market does here. We had a bit of a drop. We had a lot of Fed speakers today, scattered throughout the day. So could create some a bit of volatility too.
Mm, there it is.
Down we go, Tesla. Come on.
There it is.
Yeah, PLTR was crazy. It did a nice consolidation right back to the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart and bounced again. Just not going to let it drop.
Not yet, anyways.
No, it seems Netflix is up quite a bit today. Uh, the Chinese stocks are up.
Yeah, PLTR NC Trader is approaching R4. I'm watching it here more. Is it going to be able to break the high of day that it's at 130, 183.26? Is that number? If it breaks through that, then we're like, there it is. So it did just do that. So new high of day. Now let's go to R4 probably. So I was
Yeah,
actually watching
so
it to see if it was
183.
going to put in a double top because that might have been a little baby mountain pass type trade, but it just broke that. So now we're watching to see where it's going to go to.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop me.
Yeah, I'll do some options books. I'll send some codes to Carlos tomorrow. So
Hmm.
we'll do a couple of options books tomorrow, giving some reading material. Okay, so Tesla's coming back to my break even, and the SPY and the Qs have bounced back. Yeah, I'm getting out of Tesla this short, flat on the
Yeah,
rest.
it's come back to VWAP, hasn't it?
Yep, and it's going to break out. It's just what Tesla does. Pulls back, they pick up some shares, and then they push it higher. We have been getting into a lot of chop right now. So, I mean, for the last half hour, 45 minutes, we really haven't done very much with the cues of the SPY since about 10:20. Wow. PLTR it just does not want to stop going up. Next level is just under 185. That was yesterday's high. See if we have enough buyers to take us there.
All right. Mm.
Good
OKLO
morning.
made a little bit of a recovery here this morning. Is it even? It's not even
I use
green though.
Bookmap to see where the orders are on Tesla. We should be at the end of this month. I think the should be our trading atlas, which would be equivalent of the of Bookmap on Trading Terminal. I think Andrew was mentioning the programmers are working to get this out by end of this month, which is fast approaching.
That it is.
Yeah, and it's looking really good too.
Nice.
I know
Oh,
that
here
voice.
we've got Nathan joining us. Good morning.
How you guys doing? Good morning. How you guys doing today? Sounds like you got
R-
some trades in.
Yeah, quiet for
Had
me.
a good day.
Oh,
Good,
there you go.
good.
Ryan's had a good day. That's what matters.
And my all my penny stocks are none the worse for wear.
Actually, that's good on a day like today.
I know. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm long YM or MYM, the Dow. It's just kind of slowly grinding up for me. But
you're long the Dow.
yeah, yeah, long YM.
Cool.
Got a nice entry, so we'll see how this one works out.
Damn.
How's everybody in YouTube land? Hey, Beth, that's awesome.
Right.
That's a really good comment.
All right, guys. I'm gonna grab
Yeah.
some breakfast and yeah, keep it green, everybody. It's we're getting a bit of chop now, so just be aware that don't go chasing things at this point unless you see a clean breakout.
Don't go chasing
Peter,
one.
Nathan, have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, see you,
Thanks,
We'll
you
Ron.
talk to
too.
y'all later.
Have a good one.
Yeah, we do have, just a reminder, everyone, we've got Costco after the close. So we've got a big
Yeah,
retailer reporting, so it could be interesting. See what they have to say.
indeed.
All right.
All right, Nathan, I guess it's time to hand over to you. Are you going solo? You got
Unless you want to join me,
you
but yeah,
got I gotta rest my voice for a bit. I'll hang out in the background here, but it's the live trading is talking for like nonstop here with all morning. So
I get that Mondays were long for me because I was helping Thor with P Capital, and then I came on here,
yeah, that's
and
well,
then I
that's
went
where
and
I
did my
was
book
all
map class
morning.
for 2 hours, and I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
tired.
There you go. There's a drop on PLTR. It's good. Come on, PLTR.
Let's see. Hey, Sean B, how you doing? JC Trader, yeah, YM wasn't really a cam play. Um, oh, that's silver. It was, is my screen up yet? Okay, cool. Yeah, now I'm back to break even on it, but it was holding over VWAP, and we do have S3 here. So I like the support we were getting, the bounce off VWAP. So I took the trade off of, let's see, we're at 46. So here, 46,382. So I got a good entry in right through here, but now it's starting to pull back against me a little bit, but it won't be like a big loss if I take a loss on this one. I was kind of looking at, even though it's not really going to be a called cam play, but I was looking at a short on MES, this selling pressure overhead. Yesterday we had a lot of problems, looking at Trace on Spot Gamma. We had a lot of problems getting through this selling pressure yesterday when it showed up. I'd really like to get up to this hedge wall, but also, we have our daily low that we can reach. Just not a lot of like liquidity or anything on the option side showing up today. So, but we'll see. If I have to cut my MYM trade, I might look at taking MES long, or any MES short, but we'll see. It's slowly grinding up. We got a lower low here, but just keep an eye on it. Robbie, yesterday was garbage truck. Today is Lambo. Nice. I'm hoping you had a good day then. Ben, quick scalps. Stuck in Tesla. Oh man. Yeah, I heard Brian said he took a short on it, and Paris, I heard in the BBT chat room that he was trying to look at taking a trade in it, and he didn't like it, so he got out pretty quick. Let's see. For trading terminal, let me see if I can find like the support. Um, if you want to send me an email at nathan@bearbulltraders.com, I can forward it on and make sure I get it to somebody. So I'm not seeing like the support. I think it's like support@tradingterminal.com or something, but if you want to send me an email, I will find out who I need to send it to, and then I can get back to you on that, if that's okay. If you don't mind doing it that way. And I'll just make sure it gets sent to the right person, and then I can share that with you. I'll CC you on it. And then the best person to kind of ask about the funding accounts, obviously Andrew, Mike would be good, but I don't know a ton of information on those. I just know that it's kind of awesome that Andrew provides those and make those available. So, You can also do one. You want to send me like the same email asking those both questions, and then I will find out. I will get the right person and find out for you who you need to get a hold of, and I'll send it to you. Let's see. Let me get back to the questions. Let's see. Good morning, pretty bird. I see, Ben. We're going to look at Tesla. Let's see what it looks like. And just got stopped out on my YM trade. What kind of day do we have? Well, we're still rating up into this liquidity here. I know Minty and I were talking last week about Tesla. I was saying if it could get down here, that would be a great buy, but the rating up on this liquidity on these highs on this daily chart into this areas where you could expect to see some selling and just some consolidation. That's kind of what we're getting into. You know, still this would be for me on a good day to buy to run higher. It would be really down here is where I'd be looking to try to buy. But we did sweep yesterday's low, and it looks like we're about to sweep prior day low. So let me see what looks good in here. Got a little bit of a gap here. Getting into some gaps here, but it looks like that's been mitigated. So just kind of not a ton of volume in through here on the 4-hour, but we are right off at S6. So how do we look on the 30? I'm looking for gaps. So we're clearing back into this gap, tested back down. Not a whole lot over here. I do see an engulfing candle, but that's about all the support that I see. Really not like a ton of gaps. I would expect like even lower into this area may be better, but I know we're down at S6 on a higher range day. Let's see how it reacted. And we got a nice big 15-minute gap that's going to cause you some problems. You can see it's already been holding very well. Mitigating this 5-minute gap. So coming back down to retest S6. So still another large gap, another large 5-minute gap from the opening. So we're going to have some issues really grinding through here. And then yeah, I mean, this would have been a really difficult entry anyway to try to catch this through here. So I mean that would have been a tough catch right off S6. And it doesn't, did anybody see, did S6 call? Here's a weaker retest back into S6 and then the bounce off again. Let's see what the book looks like. Throw this over here. I mean, definitely very bullish, but it looks like at the time right now, we're stacked pretty bearish. I mean, we definitely have the large order blocks up higher, but 420 is still our largest order on the book. So, I mean, the top side looks good, but I mean, there's just too large of a block of orders. There's just too much of a buyer down here. I would think that we would want to come in and test a lot of this liquidity to try to find that buyer. So I don't know, another weak test back into S6, but some of these orders up here got to get a lot larger. It's just really looking like we're being pulled right down to 420. Want to see what price action looks like.
I'm back, Nathan.
Oh, hey.
Thanks for that
Welcome
break.
back. Oh, you're welcome.
I needed to get some breakfast.
I'm glad you think you need my permission, but
I
I'm a slave driver.
I am in PLTR short. I saw the hesitation happened to be high of day R4. Excuse me. Only all that stuff, sort of came together. I got short at 183.50, roughly 183.52, I think, or something like that. And got a good $1.50 move. We'll see if it goes any further, but that's usually my first target is that 50 moving average, which I find these things bounce off of so often.
Well, that generally lines up. The 50 SMA generally lines up with the 5.9 EMA. And so I
Well, that would
found
make
out,
sense
yeah,
because
I
that would
found out
essentially be a 45
that's
SMA,
why
right?
that's why I love my ads kind of off those areas. When you
Right.
start pushing through a breakout, take a partial or a couple partials through that, wait for that test to come back with that 50 SMA and then that 9 EMA on the 5 kind of match up. And that's a really good place to add because it also gives you pretty decent RVR once you get extended off of it and come back to it.
Yep.
I actually haven't moving averages on my chart in a while. I just took them off and just started to read more just looking at candles, but
Nothing wrong with that.
you kind of after looking at them in a while, you kind of get an idea where they're at anyway, when they're crossing and when they're dipping into one of those. But yeah, I got stopped out on my YM trade. Tesla looks like it's just chopping around until it wants to do Tesla things and just like go jump all over the place. Let's see. Mohammed, are you part of the BBT Elite? Because I do have a bunch of videos in there, and then I do a webinar every Monday for visual price action. So if you want to come in there, then I've got a ton of videos. If not, email me and I can send you some that I have that I've made for a course that I've done. And then, I can just show those to you if you want. Sean, I'm good. Yeah, slept in a little bit today. Had a good week so far. Slept in a little bit. Still on mountain. I'm in mountain time, so it's getting a little dark here in the morning when I'm supposed to get up, and it's harder for me to get up. I think you're in the same time zone as me, right, Peter?
Uh, I don't know. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so I'm
Oh,
in
you're in
West
Eastern.
time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I think you're Mountain, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. At least I'm not West Coast, like Brian,
That
Andrew.
is brutal. Yeah.
I remember Paris talking about how hard it was. He's like, I gotta wake up so early and trade. He's like, I don't like this. Let's see, white lab codes. Let's see, Oracle. What do we got here with Oracle? I mean, that's a nice lower high. We're getting some exhaustion into that push too. So I mean, that was a nice lower high right there. Getting some buying exhaustion through here. Let's see. Doesn't really line up with a cam. Man, you would have liked to have seen this price action up here. Like that would have been the spot if we could have got this price action. This is a little too far away from S4 for me. And now we're back basically in the mid range for premium and discount right off VWAP. So I don't think this is a short at the moment. But if you can get another push, a high a day, and then a weak push and excuse me, into S4, some consolidation like this, and then a rejection off S4, that could be a good short. And then kind of just play that fade, scalping that fade back into VWAP could be a good play. But, this just missed being higher. It needed to come up just a dollar and a half more. And that would have been a good spot. This would have been a beautiful R4 short. Just need to get a little bit higher. Be patient, wait for it. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. But I wouldn't like a short here. It looks like VWAP's getting a really good response. So, and you're just really trading right in the chop range. But I do like this VPA with this exhaustion coming in and more exhaustion following with a lower high. That would have been a really good short for S4. Oh, and there goes Tesla. Interesting. Now it's doing some Tesla things. It was just chopping around. Now it swept and now it bounced.
It's doing Tesla things.
I can't trade Tesla, Peter. Like it just drives me crazy.
Does it? Yeah, there are certain stocks that, depending on what you look at, can just be so frustrating. I've got a couple of those for whatever reason. Walmart, Costco, like I will not go anywhere near them. I've just been burnt too many times. And Boeing is another one. Like some people love to trade those, and I just look at them and I shudder because I don't understand. They don't follow the same patterns that I like to see that I find comfortable to trade.
Yeah, it's like, neither does Tesla for me at least, and what I try to trade. I mean, why did it bounce here? And why is it squeezing back up? And why is it breaking the trend line? And then it'll squeeze back up and then it'll sweep all the way back down. You're like, what in the heck is going on? But Paris, man, Paris reads Tesla like who knows how much he makes every year just off trading Tesla. Like he can just read the price action on it. And I've talked to him about it and he's tried to show me some things. I'm like, I don't know. I just can't get it.
Yeah. Oh no. His ability to sort of read that price action is phenomenal, and Tesla gets that type of erratic or rapid movement that,
Mm.
frankly, he does really well with. That
Yeah.
a lot of us struggle. So
I mean, you got this nice engulfing candle, you're hitting VWAP, so you're kind of expecting this then to create a lower low. But who knows? Tesla could just take off and squeeze all the way to 500 in like 2 minutes. Like, it's just like, what's going on?
I can't handle it. It's too crazy.
Yeah, but White Cat, I would wait, see if Oracle can get up to S4. That just would be a better trade and a better RVR. Uh, so I personally would just wait. I would just wait on that one and maybe go see if there's something else that's within a better range. Let's see. Tesla for a short, but and again here with Tesla, you're in discount for a short, so you're really just playing it through low a day. And we're getting higher low and higher highs. Now we're kind of trending down, channeling down through here. But taking a short in and off this area, you're looking for maybe about $5. And what would your stop be? About $4. Let's see, $23 or something. But it's just not really good RVR, and I would just wait for Tesla to get outside of this range and do something. Tesla loves to sweep 15-minute highs and lows. So maybe another weak test down into S6 that holds and pushes back up, but really it's just a bad range. It's just not a good range for Tesla right now, in my opinion. We're holding this gap in through here, so this would be more of the short area. But you may want to wait for this to just like Oracle, you may want to wait for this to get up into S4. We can grind up in there and then reject S4. You've got a nice range that you can play all the way to low day. I would just like that setup a lot better. But I mean, we are getting a nice trend line here, a nice channel. But wait for us to get down here or wait for us to get up here. And you can see how much of a range then you have to take advantage of rather than getting in here and just getting chopped out. We start losing volume, it's just going to chop around, probably get stuck to VWAP on both sides. But I mean, the book supports it. We didn't have a ton of orders that really came on through this buy. Now we're following. You can see the channel here, I bet. Come on, there we go. Yeah, we're still trying to push high, but now we're kind of whipping through. So let's see what happens if it gets back down here. And then some of these orders become larger on the book. Or we get up to S4 was that about 33? And these orders are still down here and they've started to fill in to the downside as we've hit into S4. And then that would be a better short. You're taking a big chance of getting just chopped out of this and frustrated. Let's see. Um, let's see. Let me catch up. Yeah, Allison, I wish I was a morning person. Then Pacific time would be great. You were done. You can be done so early, but man, it's just the getting up for me. G-Man, yes, I do some coaching and mentoring.
Oh,
So
excuse me. Missed the mute button.
see. Let's see, what are the horizontal red lines on your chart? Do you use 50 SMA and 5 minute for adding or 1 minute? Thank you. The red lines, are you talking about on the order book? Congratulations. Is that congratulations 46? Are you a Valentino Rossi fan by chance? Because I'm a huge fanboy for Valentino. But are you talking about the red lines here on Bookmap, or was I showing something on one of the charts that had red lines through here? Oh, maybe you're even talking about these order block lines. This is the ICT concepts by Luke's Algo. And I just have it on set so I can see market structure shifts. So when we create a high and then break the low that created that high with a gap, it'll show a market structure shift, and it kind of can show you the shift in or a change in momentum, a change in the direction, or, in this case, as we're pulling down, it's just re-verifying, we would have had a market structure shift here, market structure shift here. So just kind of verifying that we are still on that downtrend a little bit until we start creating these market structure shifts to the top side. Then we're really not looking very bullish. So we would have to start making higher highs and higher lows. And then over here, once you break that market structure, once you break the low that created this high, then an order block becomes there. And you look at that as resistance. So the more order blocks you have moving up, the more resistance you should have. So breaking through these should have volume. When you start breaking, they should have volume and close. And then this order block becomes mitigated, break through, close, picking up volume so that we can start moving through the top side. So you just look at these as resistance. If you were short, you look at them as support for your trade. You don't want to see this start to flip into, sell side order blocks going higher along with market shifts going higher. And then that can show you that we've starting to change direction or we have changed direction. So it's just a quick glance on those. Let's see. Hey, Nathan, how can I access your videos regarding price action that you were mentioning a few minutes ago? Nathan at bearbulltraders.com. Just send me an email. And then I'll try to I'll tell you where to go so that you can watch them. But you should join BBT, just when you get a chance. I understand, it's not financially, feasible for some people, and we're glad that you're here. Thanks for being here. And I've seen you in here quite a bit, so I appreciate that. But, come and join. And it's a great family. So we have a lot of fun, and we have a lot of great members, and we have awesome meetups, and I love it. Like I love it. So see, Pretty Bird, you talk about the market makers offering, say, by lowering the price to entice buyers. Are they selling their shares they have in inventory to do so? That could be it. I mean, right here, we're doing that on Tesla. It's almost impossible to say what they have in their inventory. That's when you see one of these big, large pushes sweep down into liquidity. Like a lot of liquidity, as if we had that. I bet we had that this morning on Tesla. So you would see like a lot of large orders higher. I mean, I'm seeing more orders lower. Like on something like this, I almost would have expected a sweep higher to distribute and then a run lower to accumulate. But it looks like we had a pretty bearish book to start on the open and swept lower. So I wouldn't say market makers are actually accumulating here. It looks like they're just offering down here to find buyers. I mean, we're just jigging down to find buyers and waiting to get orders on the top side of the book to run into some of these orders higher. But this is a very large order block, and it's very easy for them to get to this right now. That's kind of what I would expect them to do, unless a large buyer does come in and start creating more V-shaped reactions like this. So we're getting into that area where you would expect this buyer to start to come in, and that's kind of what we're doing now. We're jigging. And if that buyer doesn't come in, that's fine. Then they can drop the price, just start dropping the bid into these liquidity levels. You know, we're going to start hitting some stops in through here. So we'll start just forcing that participation into these levels. And if we don't find a buyer off of here, they'll just keep dropping until they find that buyer. So right now it does look like we are jigging on Tesla. We are jigging down to find a buyer. You know, here's our spot. So we just dropped through that liquidity. We just offered the bid, dropped through liquidity, probably hit some stops, filled all that liquidity. And so now it's okay, is there a buyer here? We're testing. And this is where you would want to see the ask lifting here to offer higher to buyers. So it's sellers are just taking over control right now. We're just not getting any buy side participation. You know, we'll push through this liquidity level, didn't lift at all. Now we're pushing into this liquidity level, trying to lift an offer, but really struggling. So yeah, the ask is lifting here. This, when you get buying and it's hitting that ask, it should continue to lift, but that bid's dropping. Anytime that buying stops coming in, that bid's dropping. So it's, if you want to prove that you're a buyer, they need to start slamming this ask and start clearing these highs of first these 1 minute candles and close and close and close. And that volume needs to start ramping up. So, I mean, this isn't the best buy volume. I mean, we need this volume to start ramping up into this area, you know, and just like you would see for Mike when his high a day breaks, and John H, on how they like that volume that ramps up in to the move, so that you can see as we're offering higher, as that ask is lifting, those buyers are coming in and taking on that liquidity and being aggressive to drive that price up through the high of day. So lifting a little bit here, but what we would be watching for is that needs to continue. And as the volume's coming in, like, it needs to continue, and it honestly needs to start jumping up even a little bit more on the buy side. Because as soon as any buying stops or any selling hits, like, it drops. It's not like holding up. Let's see what happens if we test this liquidity. That looked like it got pulled. So that liquidity actually looks like it got pulled. Now they're pulling it back. So we may have some manipulation here with an algorithm trying to lift price by putting the carrot in front of the donkey with some liquidity. Well, this is what they'll do. This is some of the manipulation you can see on here. See how they keep moving it up, Peter?
I just like the expression. You gotta get that carrot.
So that one got filled. That liquidity got filled. But there it comes back on again. So this drops this order. You can actually see it kind of dropping here. If they pull it, let's see if they pull it and add it higher. That one might have gotten filled. But yeah, they'll do that. They'll keep moving liquidity back up to kind of entice this algorithm. Oh, hey, you still have more orders higher. But eventually they'll get tired of chasing it and they'll just drop the bid back down into a level. But yeah, it looks like we have a little bit of manipulation and somebody pulling orders up higher. But this isn't very good volume. We closed higher, but on crappy volume. So we need more volume than this, because we've got a lot of resistance and VWAP to break through. So we need to pick up more buying. Yeah, this isn't indicative yet of a large buyer coming in. and then it stops. It looks like anytime the volume stops coming in, this bid is just dropping down. So this would be your jigging. Jigging for a buyer, they feel like they find one, they're getting some buying coming in, so they lift and lift and lift, but then they start getting into this liquidity and it becomes, are they still getting that participation from the buy side? So the buyers are going to have to keep working and keep participating, or they're just going to drop and jig back down. Oh, also congratulations. I don't have any moving averages on my chart. But I do love the 50 SMA and then especially the 9 EMA. And when those line up and they're in an area together, that's a great place for me to add. I don't take trades off of there, but if I partial through, like the high a day, um, into, some very big swing highs on higher time frames, and then I wait for that pullback and kind of wait for like the bounce off of it. It'll hit and bounce a couple times and you'll see the absorption and the orders stacking up underneath. That lets me know that that algorithm should be right there. And I just find that a good place to add on to trades. Let's see. Catch up. Brenda, it's Atlas is completely built from scratch. So it does and it does not look like Bookmap. It has the heat map. You won't be able yet to really scroll back and look at the historical part, but you will be able to look at trades hitting the bid, trades hitting the ask. And one thing that Atlas does that Bookmap does not do, it will show the institutional orders between the spread. So if you have your time and sales up, however you have it set, I think the default for most is white. The institutional between the spread orders or white or whatever color you have them. Bookmap only shows the market orders that hit liquidity, the passive liquidity on the book. So to get a dot on here, there needs to be some liquidity at a level. If we drop here, we get a red dot there. That's all Bookmap shows. It doesn't show the trades in between the spread. Atlas does do that. So you can start to even get a little bit more of a larger picture of what's going on within, price action and within the spread. You can tell where that trade hit within that spread and how big that trade was. Because I do think that's important to have, and that's something that Bookmap doesn't. It's only the market orders that occur on the passive limit orders. So anything that goes on between the spread doesn't show up on Bookmap, but it does show up on Atlas, which I think it's awesome. I think that's fantastic. And it's coming out, like it's coming along. I'll start showing it to you guys hopefully next week if they get some things added to it that I recommended. One big thing was getting some space between the order book and where the dots hit on the bid and ask. Right now they're hitting within like this little column here. So sometimes you only see like half the dot when it hits. I'd rather pull it out a little bit so you can see the spread and then also see like where those dots are hitting on there. Let's see. Hey, Starlight, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. I feel like I lose some watchers when good old Thor's not here. He's a better entertainer than I am, though. I feel like I'm kind of dry, and I ramble on about nonsense sometimes. I get too into it. Nathan, I thought for every buyer there must be a seller, so this is not true. Market makers can adjust price at their own discretion. The market makers really aren't extremely worried about price. They're worried about filling orders. Yes, they do want to have someone on the other side of that order, whether that's, a stop order that's placed in or, somebody's actual limit buy order. They can take some of that liquidity and they can take it into their inventory or take it from their inventory to have somebody. But generally, yes, they would prefer to have somebody on the other side of that trade. That's why if we're lifting into this liquidity, they want a buyer to come in there and take on that liquidity. If they can just immediately switch those shares over, they took that sell order and hand them right over to a buyer, they would prefer to do that. But a lot of times you'll see those big runs and it's just running and running and running and just green dots everywhere. Sometimes you'll get into areas where it's just red dots. You know, if you start to get some red dots going up where everybody's selling and nobody's buying, that could be a really good indication that the market maker is just taking that trade on themselves. You know, maybe they've gone down for the day, swept down for the day, accumulated a ton of shares, and then they have an order that they want to go fill and they're going to run to it. And you can start to see that. You know, that's when you're like, okay, this market maker is obviously just lifting this price. And another thing to watch for when that happens is if we're going long, say we swept down to large liquidity and there's huge orders on the top side of the book for Tesla, this ask will inherently just lift. It will just keep lifting. It will take a ton of selling to hit the bid to drop price, and you'll just watch. You can turn off the dots and you'll watch. Let's even turn off the heat map. NQ does this a lot. Maybe I'll bring that one up and see if it shows it a little bit better. But another indication of that going on is this ask will just lift. Like it'll just keep lifting. Big selling will come in and hit the bid, and then it drops and then immediately lifts again. A tiny bit of buying could come in the ask or something, nothing at all, and it will just keep lifting. And it will just respond to selling hitting the bid just to drop. As soon as it stops, it just lifts again. And you can tell, like it just lifts, it lifts, bid hits. Sometimes that ask will even stay right where it is. The bid will drop down and then that ask will push back up and the bid will come back up with it. You know, here we do have a seller just slamming and hitting the bid at the moment, but it's really just responding to whatever's hitting on either side. So it's, you know, they're just letting the participation right now determine, you know, where price is going. But for market makers, price, you know, it does have some importance and meaning to them, you know, in terms of their job is to increase the price and get the price to go higher. But also for them, they just want the transactions. So if they don't have to take anything from their inventory or do anything, and they can just find buyers and sellers at those liquidity levels to take on that liquidity, then you know, they'll just do that. And they're lifting into some liquidity and they can't get a buyer through here and they don't want to take it on, then they'll drop. They'll just drop down and start offering to sellers. So they'll just get the transactions. But it looks here like they're not willing to take on anything of their liquidity, but you know, they're depending on, that's not a good look. What happened? But it really looks like they're depending on the buyers to start driving this up higher. So let's see. Yeah, so we have the buyers here hitting the ask, driving price up. There's a little bit of selling, but the buyers came back in. So now we're getting the buy side participation. Here's some liquidity. Okay. Yeah. So we even hit that and we pop through. So we do have some buyers. We have some buyers coming in, hitting the ask and lifting up price. Now I'd like to see what happens if a big seller comes in and tries to slam price. Does that bid drop or does that, so it comes in, slams, it barely drops, and then immediately starts to push back up? That could be a good indication that we're now looking to run higher. Let's see, NQ does this probably better than anything. Let me get rid of this. Like NQ, MNQ will just literally inherently lift higher. Like it just, I want to see. Let's see if I can take the dots off. Yeah. Okay. So I like using this. I'll do this usually all day. And just looking at different types of price action, especially how the order flow is and how price action reacts. And NQ, if you have futures and you want to watch something about what I'm talking about, on a big trending day when NQ is trending up, no matter what, this ask will just keep lifting. Even when crappy buy volume is coming in, like it'll just skip levels. If no selling is hitting the bid and no selling is coming in, it'll just lift. It just keeps lifting. It just keeps lifting. Any little bit of buying really pushes price up. but sellers have to work extremely hard. And you'll see it on VPA on your chart as big buy candles going up on very little volume, and you'll have, you know, even small sell candles or big sell candles with lots of volume, but we're still just inherently lifting. It's just going up. Like that's just what it's trying to do. But here it looks like it's responding to price action pretty well. You know, let's throw in the dots and see what's going on. So let's see what happens once this selling starts hitting the bid, if we lift right back up. There was some buying that came in. It actually looks today like it's responding pretty well to both sides. It's just responding to whatever's hitting the bid or hitting the ask. So buyers want to hit the ask. When it lifts, it'll lift. Oh, there it was kind of a little bit. We hit that selling right there, but we lifted right up after. That's a little bit of what I'm talking about. But NQ is notorious. Like it'll just keep lifting, 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 lifting. And you can tell like it's intentional. It's intentional that the ask is being lifted in liquidity. And then it takes some massive selling to really stop that. But we're getting some good buying coming in here. Let's see, what does our heat map look like? Yeah, very bullish book too. So we're looking like we would definitely want to move higher. Let's see, I'm probably way behind, right, on questions. Oh, thank you, JPen ATL. I appreciate that. Let's see. So the whole. I love that you guys are talking to each other. That's awesome, and you guys are really interacting with each other and helping out each other. Like most of the stuff I'm seeing, you guys are helping out each other and talking to each other. That's awesome.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Beth, we're just looking at book map, so visual order flow and price action, and just going through what to look for. You know, different tickers even, you know, have different price action personalities. That's kind of the term Thor and I've come up with. We've been on a mission to, we call it algo facing. I don't know if you guys are Supernatural fans and you remember Ghost Facers off Supernatural, but we're hunting for algos and we're trying to build basically forensic profiles and personalities for different futures and equities. Because they do act different, there are different algorithms that control each one of them, that interact with each one of them, and they respond differently to specific ones. Some do really well to trend lines. Some react really well to VWAP. Most react very well to cams. But we want to find as much confluence and then trying to identify in here what those algorithms look like and where they're showing up. But you know, like I said, NQ inherently just likes to lift on most strong trending days. ES just likes to respond to whatever's hitting the bid and the ask. You know, you have a much smaller spread. You only have 25-cent spread on MES and ES, and it just mostly responds. Whatever is hitting the ask, it'll go up. If something hits the bid, it'll drop down. So mostly it is controlled by the aggressive price action, you know, from the aggressive participants. That's our dots here. These are our market orders on our limit orders. Now we're kind of wedging in here with this bracket. But it'll mostly just respond, you know, whatever hits the bid, it'll drop. Something hits the ask, it'll go, it'll rise. And then you've got a little bit of stacking here over the top. But we test that and we get a lot of buying. Oh, we pulled it. Yeah, we ticked into it. That ask ticked into it and they pulled that liquidity. So that could be some manipulation. I thought it was coming in as resistance. But okay, yeah, we're hitting the bid. We're hitting the ask, it raises. Something big hit the bid, it drops. So it's just really responding to whoever is being more aggressive in the market. Okay, let's see. I'm way behind. Oh, thank you, Richard. I really appreciate that. Mid-second, Tesla, it's almost break even still. Hey, Peter, are you in any trades or just lying in wait? Peter's like an alligator waiting for the the deer to come up to
That's
the shore.
one of the analogies I use, the alligator at the watering hole. Yes, I'm just lying in wait. I was in a trade, but I got stopped out on that after some partials. But yeah, nothing setting up right now.
Oracle call for LC at open. I didn't take it. I've just been trading futures. What does Oracle look like now? So I've just been trading futures for probably since June, like just doing futures. I've taken maybe a handful of equity trades, but just futures for me. Yeah, see if we can get this weak retest back into S6. I think I was talking about this earlier to possibly look for, a buy, but we're still back in that equilibrium point and just now getting taken back to VWAP here. But if this selling stops off and we just keep offering, and then all of a sudden like a big drop comes through S6 or comes through low a day, and you pick up a bunch of volume, which means somebody's accumulating, you get a nice bottoming tail off of here. We drop below this low, hit S6 or just below, pop right back up, and that volume candle just really starts to build. Like that could be a good indication of a long, but we need that weak selling retest. Like we need that selling exhaustion to come in, like we got this buying exhaustion through here for that test, and then up in here into this retest, that buying just died off. This is kind of what we would want to see going into S6. But now we're just going to be another test of VWAP. So you'd expect this, this former floor should become the ceiling now. So we hit up into VWAP, hit up into this ceiling, and then maybe fade back down into the afternoon into S6. You could get a nice scalp off of there if it sets up. Let's see. What am my cam setting? Oh, Coach, are you talking to me about what my cam settings are on TOS? I use TradingView and I just use Thor mode on his and Bruzz's cams. Let's see. Oh, do we have anybody join Garbage Trucks and Lambos today?
A few earlier. Excuse me.
And how about LF on NQ? I'll bring up M and Q, so that's one I usually just have up on my watch list. So lower range, wide pivots. I don't know if this would be a good long. That one looked nice down there, but it really didn't set up for my entry model. So I wouldn't have been able to take that. Just starting to get some exhaustion on the buy side into here. Let's see. But we do have a bullish book. So we got a lot of liquidity here. We're just kind of losing that participation. So we're kind of like rolling over here a little bit. So we would come back now and just start jigging for more buyers. But this would also be a good opportunity for a seller to just come in and slam price, like something like this. We start rolling over, and then that seller just comes in and takes over and just starts pushing through those lows. So there you're getting some extension, some nice extension on the low, clearing other lows. So we close below here. That next candle should open and drop lower and then close. So you have to just keep an eye on that. But a weak selling retest back into S3. Man, like how extended is it off the low? What
Do
are we
you
forward?
do you fish,
22?
Nathan?
Not anymore. I used to
No?
fish going up.
Yeah. Okay. You just use the term jigging so naturally.
Oh, Thor always uses that one. I think it's
Uh,
a good analogy. When you're bass fishing, throw the lure out there and maybe jig just a couple feet down, and throw it back out a few more feet down. Because the bigger fish are near the bottom. So you just start jigging down a little bit further, a little bit further. And I had a buddy, one of my best friends in high school, well, growing up, his dad was a pro fisherman. Like he went and fished all the pro tours. He was sponsored, and so they taught me how to bass fish. They're a fun group of guys. Those professional fishing guys are crazy. They they're really competitive and they like to have fun, that's for sure. We got to meet a bunch of them. Roland Martin would come over to Big Tom's house and they'd go out to dinner and we'd get to go with them and some of the other big, bass guys. So it was fun.
I imagine it's got to be unique. I mean, there's very few people in the world that can fish professionally, like actually
Yeah,
make money from it.
it's
So,
it's a skill. Like it's a big, I mean, I don't know if you'd say, they're great athletes or whatever, but they have like I would go out there and fish, even with Tommy, Big Tom's son, that was my friend. He would try to teach me, you gotta do this and do that, and he'd catch like
oh,
10. I caught like two little ones. I'm like, man, I
yeah.
don't know what I'm doing wrong.
I I wouldn't call them athletes, but they certainly have a skill, right? Like
And
you
they're,
like you
dude,
say.
they are so competitive. Like
I bet. Oh yeah.
their boats, I mean, these things go like 70 mile. Well, at least this was 20 years ago. These things would go 70 miles an hour on the water.
Right.
And, I
You got
mean,
to get first to
yeah,
the
Big
to the
Tom's
hole.
boat, it was like a little bass boat. It cost like 30 grand back in like the
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s. And they had to have them because I guess they do a start where, they're all in like the cove or the bay or whatever.
Right.
They all start and they run out to their spot. And they're like, you don't want somebody to get to your spot before you, so you want a fast boat. And I'm like, man, this thing's really fast though. It's like, holy crap, 70 miles an hour. Like, yeah, they were fun though. But man, yeah, they do. And if you do not go into somebody's spot, like you will have problems. Like that's a nice fish, 90% of the commentary on the fishing channel. Mine would be, that's a nice fish, Nathan. It's really tiny. Like you're really good at catching the tiny fish.
Well, again, they have a skill. They know how to exercise it. Just like a trader, right? We're not wouldn't call us athletes either, but there's a skill here that you can develop over time, and gotta have the right equipment.
T
Yeah,
Chad, you sent me an email. Do you say maybe I didn't get it? Let me look. Let me go to my inbox. I don't I don't see anything in here. Um, Send me another one. I don't see it on my BBT email. If you sent me one, if you were talking to me. Let's see. Mm, Yeah, yeah. Send it to me again. I'll be on the lookout for it.
oh man, is it gonna be another one of these super slow days all day?
Let's see. Oh, Sean, you took some revenge trades.
No, never good.
Yeah, do those in Sim. Like, no, seriously, like just do your revenge trades in Sim if you want to do it. Just and track your stats and stuff, like right on the revenge trade. But just take it in Sim. Don't take it in your real account. Just get it out of your system and kind of go back and meditate and think of, okay, what made me do that? Like what really triggered me? There's your power, to do something and to just get out of the trade, just be okay with it. Like the stimulus that happened, and then there's that space in there before you respond and take that revenge trade. Like that's where you have like the power to make the change. And just doing that in Sim, just like I'm going to take a revenge trade, I'm going to do it in Sim. You're not so attached to it now, and you can watch it and keep your stats. Like how many times did that work out for me? And then just start to be more realistic. So how many times do revenge trades like really work out for me?
Right. Yeah,
Probably
that's
not a
good.
lot. And just take it in Sim and you can just sit there and watch it. Like if it works, I don't know if it'll make you feel better, but if it doesn't work, you're going to feel a lot worse if it was in a live account. but just kind of sit there with those feelings and, don't have any like attachment to it. So you can kind of understand, just meditate, like, where does this feeling coming from? Is it from self-criticism? Like you have this inner critic going on in your head that's telling you, no, you lost a trade. Now just take another, just do it. And I used to get that all the time, like that inner critic in mind. Like you took a loss, you took a big loss. You didn't get out where you had your stop. You moved your stop. So now you just get back in for no reason, and it's not a setup. Rather than just waiting for another setup to come up on something else. But just sit there, take it in sim, take the revenge trade in sim, and just sit there and be aware of what's going on in you, the thoughts you're having. Are you being really self-critical? Grab some more logic that kind of pushes back on that. Like what is the logic here? And just know you didn't do like the worst thing, just jumping back in. You did it in sim, and that's okay. Like it really doesn't matter what happens after that. But you can sit there with those thoughts and those feelings and just take them in and hear what that inner critic is saying, that self-criticism that you're getting, and those ugly things that you're saying to yourself, and disagree with them. Find the logic to why that's not true. Like that's not true for me. I trade well, I follow my plan. And this time, yeah, I took a revenge trade, but I just did it in sim. So I can now learn, and I can learn more about myself. Do it that way. And you'll start to figure out some things. Trading is going to make you a better person. You have to become a better person to be a successful trader. It's going to bring out every type of emotion you can imagine, and ones that you didn't even know could happen. And you're going to have to deal with some of those personality issues that you may have. And you're going to have to deal with them, and you have to figure them out. And I had to do the same thing. I had some personality issues that were holding me back from being successful. I knew how to trade. I took good trades, but I had some personality things, some emotional things I had to deal with. So I would go listen to podcasts. I'd go listen to stuff on YouTube about these things. And I would spend time directing them and taking care of them so that I didn't have these feelings anymore, because they were things that I just needed to get over anyway. Just being immature, just not being, socially intelligent, or not socially intelligent, sorry, emotionally intelligent. And really just things I'd put off, things I didn't want to deal with. But now I have to. If I want to be successful, I have to start dealing with this part of myself. So, just put that in sim and spend time. Just spend time with yourself in that space, and what's happening in your life. What am I thinking? Write down things. Well, I'm thinking really bad things about myself. My inner critic is being really mean right now. Is that logical? Like, is that a logical sense? Should your inner critic be mean to you? Probably not. It should be more supportive. But once you start to deal with those feelings and understand where they come from and get a little control over them, then it won't be a big deal. You just won't take the revenge trades because the outcome isn't going to help. Oh man, we're done. I didn't get through everything. I'm sorry. What was it? 9:59? Peter, I appreciate you joining me, man.
I didn't do much. Just sat here,
That's
but
okay.
yeah, it's good.
I get afraid when I'm alone. Get really scared, so.
You get all lonely, do you?
Yeah, I need somebody to cuddle with. So we Zoom cuddled.
All right. Well, I'm glad I could be there as your emotional support bear.
Thank you. Oh, I like that. Yes, thank you.
Take care,
All right,
everybody.
guys.
Trade smart.
I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.